with your hosts, Andy and Ethan.
Welcome back to another week. Guys. Thank you. We got a big show. A lot of things to talk about.
Gargantuan show, governor.
Yeah, massive show. Some in Her Majesty's surface will call it gigantic. But yeah. So I'm Andy. That's Ethan. This is the show. You know where you are if you're here. This weekend, this weekend was fucking huge. It's in terms of let me back up there. Too big for words. It was huge. It was huge for MMA. It was huge, way more for BKFC. And it was huge for MMA because it was huge for BKFC and bare knuckle in general. But the sport of bare knuckle advanced quite a far.
Did you see the article? Weekend. Did you see the article that the owner of bare knuckle literally mortgaged? He put 2 mortgages on his house to pay for that event. It was sink or swim.
Yeah, I bet he did. That's why the commentary, all the promotion, every single audio thing on the whole thing, every other fucking cut was just like, this is the best BKFC ever.
And I thought about it. I was like, shouldn't you say that for Knucklemania? But
yeah.
Okay. That was literally my thought when I heard this is the biggest event ever. Yeah. I'm like, is it?
The ring announcer's not bad. He just needs to figure something out.
I don't really like. He's too bombastic.
But he's, you know what it is? He's trying to find his place. I think he's one of the last parts of like that of the actual production of the show that's they need to figure out.
Come up with your own shit. For as
especially in today's world where
you don't want to be a buffer. You don't want to be a buffer. You can't be a Jimmy Lennon from fucking Showtime Boxing. You know, so you're kind of asked out. I mean, what's his face? Joe Martinez from the UFC that does the UFC B cards. He's carved out a nice little niche for sure. I also like David. What's his dick? Dimensi or some shit like that. I forget his name. He's the ring announcer that does all of DAZN's boxing cards. He's really slick with it. I didn't like him at first, and he grew on me. He was slick. With it.
Well, the main card, like the beginning of the card starts, not the main card. I mean, it is the main card. It's weird because they had the main card and then they had like the pay-per-view, right? So like, but he comes on and he goes, hello.
No, he's like, hello.
That was exactly
he held that last one.
He did. He does hold it. He holds the last part out. And the other thing, I don't think his thing about saying it's time to knuckle is bad, but he doesn't pronounce it very well. So it kind of just sounds like he's just saying, oh, it doesn't sound like he's saying knuckle.
Bombastic, dude. He has to find out when's the proper time to throw those inflections in and when it's time to just like, you know, have like a good voice and say something normally.
Dude, like, you know,
so I'm not the biggest fan of the ring announcer, but he's not the worst.
Let's say like Joe Martinez decided to like walk away from UFC and go do something else, dude. He'd kill it there. Joe Martinez would murder it there. Anyway,
you know,
but it's fine. They got their own.
Hey, I'll give you a fun fact about PFL. Fuck PFL 1. 2, fun fact about PFL. The ring announcer that they used in the last show is AEW's ring announcer, Justin Roberts, who's formerly of the WWE.
Yeah, they do a lot of because they have such a loosey-goosey organization. They do a lot of like, hey, you want to come fucking commentate this weekend?
I was very surprised the guest announcer was fucking Justin Roberts. He didn't do that bad. When the one fight that I heard him, like I said, I only watched the main event of that one card, but he didn't sound half shit. So,
dude, when you're focusing on promoting your fucking guest commentator more than you're promoting your fighters on the card, you're doing something wrong. But yeah.
Hey, I mean,
in general,
you know if you got Michael Buffer to commentate on a card, that's different.
Well, Michael Buffer's his own thing, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's that. I mean, hey, that's a man who shows up for a check. Can't blame him for that, right?
Dude, you know, he gets paid hundreds of $1,000s literally just to say, "Let's get ready to rumble."
And who gets a cut? Bruce Buffer. You know what I mean? What a. He's like, hey. He's like, you're my brother. Let me be your manager. Actually, I mean, what a sick move. You know what I mean? Like if you had someone to trust, and you're like, dude, and it could be your brother, that'd be preferable.
Would you trust me to be your manager, Andy?
Unless you're Dane Cook. Would I trust you? Fuck yeah. Yeah, I trust you to be my manager for sure. Yeah. I trust you with what, you know, it's a better question. What wouldn't I trust you with?
Yeah, because I do trust you with a lot myself.
Yeah.
We share each other's deep dark secrets that we don't.
What wouldn't I trust you with though? I wouldn't trust you with oh, what couldn't I trust you with, dude? Couldn't trust. It's hard because you're very trustable. I almost have to make up something I couldn't trust you with. Oh, I couldn't trust you around. Like I probably couldn't trust you around, like, you know, like sticking around a buffet after 9 o'clock, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you know, like I'd have to,
yeah.
And I don't know. it's landed flat as fuck. But anyway. Not. What didn't land flat was the weekend for BKFC.
No, it
President bet 2 houses on it, and it delivered. The card was fantastic, dude. Like it really was. It you know, they kept building it up. As
oh my god,
card, and it needed to be.
Did you see? Hold on, real quick, breaking news. Angel just fucking gave us.
What happened? What happened?
Juliana Pena is out of UFC 289. Irina Aldana replaces her.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Breaking news. What a fucking the most anticipated pay-per-view headline of all time, by the way. The fans are raving over that one.
Andy, wait, mad I interrupted.
Juliana Pena versus fucking Aldana?
No, Amanda Nunes versus Aldana.
I am kind of mad that you interrupted BKFC talk for that, but okay, that's fine. Great, you know.
Pena suffered broken ribs, if you care.
Pena, okay. Pena didn't want to be in that fight. Let's be honest. But
probably not. You're right. That's fair.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good for Aldana. Hey, we talked about that before. She'll definitely get in there with fucking with Nunes and get murdered. So
anyway, back to BKFC. Yes,
back to BKFC.
Hit it out the ballpark. I tell you what.
Listen, they did knock it out the ballpark. They knocked it out the Denver ballpark, the Coors ballpark. That's not where they fought. Coors Field.
Is it named Coors Field?
Yeah. Pretty sure. Said that really too complicated.
Is there a Bud Light field? There should be a Bud Light field if you catch my drift.
Not anymore.
Bud Light field the gay club?
It was 2 weeks ago. I don't know what happened since then. Anyway, BKFC, the main event, Luke Rockhold versus Mike Perry. Bro, like delivered like you wouldn't believe, ended like you wouldn't believe, started how you thought it would.
I would not say it delivered like I believe. I did not. Huh? I would not say it delivered like I believe. Would not say that. Ended not like I wouldn't believe, and the lead up how it started.
Well, it delivered like you wouldn't believe because the way it ended. It was a play on words. But thank you for dissecting that. But yes, it was an incredible show. Regardless, it was fucking good. Dude, your face froze. Your face froze like this just now. You're like, for like a
oh, your internet's fucking up, so my face froze. I even freeze, so I was like, oh, okay. You're just saying like I was like,
my internet is fucking up right now. Okay, back to this thing. Yeah, Mike Perry came out. The walkout was incredible because the whole crowd for the whole show was fucking hyped up.
It was hot. It was a hot crowd. 100%
hot crowd. 100% a hot crowd. Then Mike Perry comes out, dude. Luke Rockhold comes out. They start booing him immediately.
Yeah. After you told me after the fact, I listened to it and I was like, wow.
Yeah, they booed him immediately. But then they announced that he's fighting out of Denver.
Yeah.
And so immediately the crowd is like caught off guard because they're like, wait a minute, he's from Denver or he's fighting out of Denver. And so there's like this confusion energy that happens.
They probably thought the announcer was so trash. They was like, oh, he's fighting in Denver. No shit, he's fighting in Denver. Yeah. We're in Denver.
Yeah, dude. Like it was so confusing. And so he walks down the ring and there's just this weird energy. And so
by the way, I love that the ring is an actual ring.
It's an actual, well, it's an 8-sided ring. It's not a 6-sided ring.
It's a fucking circle. It's a ring.
It's a ring, but it's not like a traditional ring. It's got like it's got like 8 posts on it or something like that.
It's a circle. It's a fucking
it's a circle.
It's a literal ring, not a ring in terms of a boxing ring, not a cage.
Right.
It's a literal ring. I like
literal ring. They figured it out. They actually figured that part out.
They probably think their fans are so stupid when they say ring, they probably want to see a literal ring.
Yeah, they should say like circle.
You got to think like, if you were to grab the intelligence of a BKFC fan, it's probably lower than some of the other organizations.
That's not fair.
Being real.
What do you mean? I'm a fucking BKFC fan.
So am I, but I mean, if you take the fucking high end and the low end, and you did the fucking median,
Bro, if you took the high end and the low end of UFC, what are you talking about? NASCAR, like, bro, UFC's done NASCAR. What do you mean? Like, fucking,
I don't know.
Talking about? You're indicting yourself, friend. You're putting yourself.
Hey, I never called myself the smartest cookie on the board. Okay.
Oh, you're pretty smart though. You're like 6 to 7, 6.5 to 7 on the intelligence scale. You know, out of 20, I'd put you there. You know what I mean?
Out of 20, not a 10. I'm gonna say what the fuck. I was gonna say in terms of like actual like intelligence, like in terms of common sense, I'm probably like a 2. Common sense intelligence, not there. Book smart,
that's what I can't. That's what I can't trust. I can't trust you with the common sense shit. I have to have a street guy with you.
I can just imagine you with 2 guys. Logical me. What do you think? I think you should do this. All right, street me. What do you think? Full send, motherfucker.
Like, dude, logic, street right here, dude. Like, just constantly trying to be like, what? Listen, motherfucker, this is what you should do. Now, statistically, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I can just imagine on the show, they're like, I think you should continue to show you're on a hot streak. Street you. Leave. Fuck your wife. Let's go. Fuck this show.
Yeah. Oh, but man, no. The card in general, I mean, the main event was absolutely amazing. When Mike Perry came out, though, because of that energy from Luke Rockhold, it was weird, though. He was hot, but there was a lull that the rest of he didn't get like the full like energy from the card until the end of the fight. He didn't get that from the walkout, which I kind of thought was weird, but he comes out, you know, and immediately the fight starts, and it's just Mike Perry comes to fight, bro. That's his fucking sport, you know, and Rockhold's talking mad shit all week. And I said this to you, and I said this to my buddy. I was like, you know, Rockhold's a little too samurai'd. It seemed like he was just really hell bent on that thing he does when, you know, it's like, it reminded me so much of when he fucking fought Bisping, dude. When he fought Bisping,
he gets full of himself, dude. He really got full of himself.
He believes in his own Instagram story.
Real quick, he does. He definitely does. Like, it's not an act for him, it's real, but like it doesn't hit nearly the same as like he thinks it does.
It is kind of an act though, because he's not like that outside of fight camp. And so he like puts himself in like this fucking warrior's way mentality. But I think for him, it's not him, it's a delusion. And so when he gets against an opponent, you know what I mean? It's just like the opponent's like, I don't fucking believe in any of this shit, dude. And
I'm not scared.
Bisping was that way. And Perry was that way. He was like, the press conference, he's like, I don't know what the fuck this guy's smoking, but I'm working to knock this guy out. And that's what I'm going to do. That's pretty much what Perry said in almost every interview. You know, it was his
Perry, you know, no, BKFC has been a godsend for Mike Perry because he takes being champion there so much more serious than he ever did fighting at any point in the UFC.
Yeah.
Like he really's taken it. He is the face of BKFC.
Well, there's a lot of things going on in the UFC when he was there too.
Yeah, I get that, but no, like he really takes his job as the face of BKFC so serious, and he's done great for them because he's not so insane that he's gonna go do some shit like Nate Diaz or Connor McGregor does and get in fucking trouble with the law. But he's still batshit crazy to where he's not like boring like a Mighty Mouse or something like that. If you were to have him as like a representative of a champion,
his girlfriend, wife, definitely like the one he had. That's what, you know, in the UFC he was dating that one chick. And they were like fighting fucking constantly, like in the news. He was making headlines, but for all the wrong reasons. And
that was his head trainer. I'm sorry, you can't have your wife with no combat sports experience as your head trainer.
No, apparently you can, because Perry did that for I think the first BKFC he did that, and when he went to Triller, when he did that Triller fight, and he fought that boxer on that Triller card. Bro, you don't remember that? There was literally like there was compilations on YouTube, and it was just his current wife, who's also the mother of his kid. I can't remember her name, but Torres or something. But like, dude, she is literally his only coach for like a few fights. In this last fight in the UFC, it's hilarious, dude, because she's just like, go get him, baby. You're doing good. knock him out, like no, and she's just like rubbing him and putting ice on him and shit, and he's all just like literally by himself, dude.
Oh, dude, you know what would have motivated him more?
Madness.
Like, listen, baby,
Absolute
the
madness.
quicker you knock him out, the quicker I'm gonna suck your dick in the locker room.
Something
That would have
like
been great.
you know
That
what
would
I
have been
mean?
way better advice than what the fuck.
Honestly, though, you don't want to be thinking about that when you're in the cage. You know what I mean? Or when you're in the circle, in the ring circle, you don't want to be thinking about that. Your mind's got to be on knocking this guy out, dude. You can't be thinking about that kind of shit. But
I'm sure Connor McGregor definitely thinks about getting blowjobs in his fights, in the middle of his fights.
Yeah, he might be. You might be right about
There's
that.
certain guys that that's what they're thinking about. Like, I'm gonna go home and just.
John Jones. Like John Jones thinks about murder. Like, but not like.
I can't wait to run over a pregnant woman.
He's not. Yeah, he's not thinking about murdering his opponent. He's like, he's thinking about murdering some lady, and or something. You know what I mean? Like
Jones, stop thinking about murder. Make some fans. Check on him. Check on him.
Stop fantasizing about fucking drive-offs. Fucking go make some fans.
Go back and throw a punch. Don't get your weed.
Oh, that was so fucking funny, dude. When Angel was telling us about that wreck, I was like, dude, why didn't you fucking just take off? Come back later for your fucking cash and drugs, bro.
I get it. No, I get it. I would have laughed. I would have laughed too, but
that's the way to do it,
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, I'm sure she was laughing. But anyway,
note to fans: Asian women not good drivers.
You had to throw that. You had to sprinkle that little bit of knowledge on there for us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ethan. Okay, so going back to the fight, Rockhold came out, dude. Like I said, he was talking all this shit about the whole time. I'm not gonna quit. Specifically saying, I'm not gonna quit. I'm in this to win it. He's never fought anybody like me. He's never fought anyone. You know what I mean? Like he's never fought anyone like. Yeah. Get you some fans. Get you some fans, Ethan.
Yeah. Everyone loves good pussy on the podcast, boy. I tell you what.
Pick up that cat right away.
Son of a bitch.
But yeah,
like, nope, you're using me to get back fans. Fuck you. I'm out. I'm out.
So yeah, but Rockhold, he's talking all that shit, dude, believing in his own hype. And he comes out there and he just meets a fucking guy who doesn't believe in no hype. He just believes in himself. That's Mike motherfucking Perry, dude. And he came out and just started throwing ham hocks right at Rockhold.
That's what to do though. That's expected.
It's exactly what we thought, dude. But Rockhold, I mean, look, to be fair, at first, Rockhold definitely was going back and forth with him. But there was one punch. This is what I love about BKFC. Yeah. There's always one punch. The first hit of a new guy coming into the sport. Yeah. When they hit it and you see it, dude. Everyone sees it. Yeah. Before the whole fucking world, dude. And you can tell. Yeah. Rockhold was just like, fuck, that's not what I'm used to. And
no credit to Rockhold though. In the first round, he caught Perry with a couple shots that stung him, pushed him back. But Perry was just fucking, he was the Terminator, bro. He's like, I'm eating these shits. I'm putting my knuckle in your tooth.
He is Chris Lieben reborn, dude. For real.
He is like
with a better attitude. And
he is fucking reborn Chris Lieben.
Yeah, like he's like Chris Lieben would have been a premier bare knuckle fighter. Like,
he would have been great.
He's fought in bare knuckle a couple times. I believe that was his last.
No, that was his last stop. Yeah,
last round. So
imagine prime Chris Lieben versus fucking Nogueira in BKFC.
Yeah, that'd be bad. That'd be bad because he was the guy when you hit. That was just like not the right answer. Like you had to wrestle or submit him. Yeah, you weren't gonna knock him out, and if you fucking hit him the wrong way, the guy became the Terminator. You literally would just come to life on you and just start swinging it.
In the fucking
it's insane.
I'm pulling up the card again. What the fight we're gonna talk about a little bit later with Copeland and Rothwell. Like, bro, imagine Copeland, like, because Copeland ate shots in that fight. Imagine Chris Lieben eating those shots and just coming at you.
Well, if he ate those shots with Ben Rothwell, obviously
not Ben Rothwell. Yeah, you get what I was saying though.
Yeah, but I do. But yes, but anyway, Perry Perry was just going forward in the first round. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He really was taking it to Rockhold. The thing about it is that Luke's always done this throughout his whole career because he's not primarily a striker. He doesn't understand how to use his long ass limbs. He's so fucking long and tall.
Literally out the entire fucking card. They broke this card down. They broke this fight down like 4 different times. Each time they broke it down, it came out of Rockhold's his own mouth when Chael Sonnen went back there to interview him. They're like, "What are you gonna do to win, Luke?" He's like, "I'm gonna use my long ass arms. You know, like you guys never got to see me use my reach and shit like that. Like I'm gonna use my arms and my distance."
That was the most delusional thing he said when he said, "Well, I've been focusing on my wrestling and all my grappling for so long. You guys never get to see it, so now I get to showcase this." I'm like, "Oh,
no,
that's not how that works."
No, that is not how it works, Junior.
Yeah. Well, especially against Mike Perry, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He just whatever preparation he was doing, you know what I mean? Like, clearly it was pretty good, but it's just not enough, you know what I mean? And there's nothing that can prepare you for that fight. You know,
there's nothing that can prepare you for getting up. There's just something different. And I love his reaction at the end because he's like, "Oh, I want to keep fighting, but give me gloves next time."
It was genuine.
That's not how that fucking works either, you idiot.
At least it was genuine, though. You know what I mean? He's just like, "Yo, fuck this shit." It's like,
I can tell you from being in combat sports, from doing boxing, from doing taekwondo, getting hit by different things feels different. When you get hit by the bare of your hand, that shit hurts way more than it ever does you getting hit by a glove. Really, it does. You know what I mean? Like getting punched in the mouth with a bare hand hurts way more than it ever does with a glove. He underestimated that wholeheartedly. It takes, like, Connor said this, and we'll talk about that later, but like all those guys are just fucking savages. You have to be a savage, a real fucking savage to go and fight in BKFC. Rockhold, we knew from the jump, was not cut from that cloth. He's not cut from that cloth, dude. The guy's a fucking underwear model for Calvin Klein.
Yeah, he's a model. Yeah.
You think a model is gonna be there and want to brawl with a fucking
had a lot to do with the stoppage of the fight, to be honest, because Perry was just coming in, like the actual breakdown of the fight. Perry was coming in with some nasty inside hooks, and he does really good at that in BKFC. And because of the BKFC rule set and the clinching that's allowed, a lot more clinching than
so many boxing. Fights ended with fucking inside shots to the body to the fucking thing while you're like, all you gotta do is just charge, clinch, and just and then you fucking get them down after a few of them.
Yeah, well, I mean, very simplified way of saying that, but yes, essentially, the footwork though is widely underestimated.
No, 100%. You need to be able to
do that.
You need to be able to circle. You need to know when to push forward,
and Rockhold did
step back while not trying to get on the ropes.
Yeah, and he had no clue about that.
So many fighters made that error where they backed up after getting hit.
Perry was definitely circling around him and using that to his advantage. He definitely was not able to. That definitely doesn't happen in MMA very much because of the other rule sets. So it's very particular to bare knuckle. So I really like that part of it too, which is kind of one of the lulls in boxing I don't like. So I like how they make that up. But yeah, Perry got to him. Perry caught him with just a super clean left, and Rockhold knew immediately something was up. Felt his teeth. Felt the cracking and was just like, I'm fucking done. He literally went to,
I'm not gonna quit.
He literally quit. I mean, he showed I don't know if that's like, I've never seen that in BKFC. So I don't know if that's like means for stopping a fight, he looked at
Dan Miragliotta and Dan's like, can you fight? And he's like,
no, he's like showing him his thing. But I didn't hear him actually say anything. You know what I mean? Like,
but he had the I quit face.
He definitely had the I quit face. He had the fuck this face.
Yeah, he had the fuck this face.
I'm done with this shit.
Yeah, he had the fuck this face. And Big Dan was like, all right, pussy.
It's so shocking when you fucking see that, like on fighters. I mean, it happens, dude. Look, 99% of you guys, me included, probably would do that if you got into a fucking ring with a professional boxer or a real striker.
Oh yeah,
be honest with yourself.
Honestly, I sparred one time and I was getting peppered with so many shots. I definitely turned my back and I was like, hold on.
Yeah, most people break down to fight.
And literally, like the guy kept punching me, and my coach was like, "Dude, you have 45 seconds. Finish the round. And I was like, all right. So I fucking started winging fucking punches while I kept getting peppered. I finished the fucking round though.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, well, I mean, I think Rockhold probably would have finished the round, but when he saw the cracked teeth, he's just like, well, I'm making money. I fucking gotta get, this is a
Get
problem for my
veneers,
other job.
motherfucker. Everybody in the house
Yeah.
and their mother got them. Get
And he's just
veneers.
like, I got to get out of here. He's like, I'm done. Check the card. Mike Perry was like shocked that he won.
Yeah, he's like, oh my God, what a bitch. What a bitch. His eyes were like stupefied.
I don't think it was that. I think it was
stupefied.
It was more like, wow, I just did all of this training
for nothing. Yeah.
For like that. You know what I mean? But still,
he even said that
also probably the
post-fight. He's like, I did all this training and the fight didn't go how I thought it was gonna go.
It's the first thing he said. Yeah, exactly. But the end of the fight was not like kind of the most shocking part of it. Luke quit, you know what I mean? And then his teeth were cracked, and you didn't even understand the teeth were cracked until after the fight was over.
I thought he broke his jaw, which would have been a total good reason to quit.
Well, even the crack, honestly, I think the cracked teeth, like I said, given him he's a model, I mean, makes sense for who he is, but like to expect him to go on after that.
If you broke your jaw, like motherfuckers in boxing break their jaw.
And honestly,
bare knuckle, if you break somebody's jaw, 100%, I understand why you want to quit.
He didn't have anything to prove, honestly. I mean, his last fight in UFC was insane. You know what I mean? Like, and I understand that's
what Cormier said. Cormier's like, he's like, yo, just go out on that. Don't embarrass yourself. Don't do anything else. I get it. Like, you want to fight. There's other avenues you can do. You want to do jiu-jitsu? Go do a jiu-jitsu contest. That's what a lot of these fucking guys do.
Embarrassing himself is hard because he does that basically anytime he's in front of a video camera or a microphone. So that's a hard one for him. So he's gonna let him embarrass himself. That's just who he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
who knows what'll happen? But yeah, Mike Perry gets on the mic, and Connor McGregor showed up. During Ferreira and Beck Rawlings fight, and
he did.
The crowd went wild. And so he starts talking to McGregor, and he's just like, yo, can we get a face off? And I loved it because in that moment, Mike Perry realized he's like,
I'm going to make myself
biggest name in the room. Let me try to catapult on this amazing thing. Yeah. Let me get this guy, and I'm going to throw my name on the headlines even more. And he was right. And it's exactly what happened.
He used his mic time perfectly. He used the mic time perfectly. Mike time used the mic time. And when McGregor came in the ring, it was so funny because, I didn't see. So you described this interaction to me, and I didn't really see it. I thought it was going to be way more blown up than what it was. Like, I really thought like he was like, oh, I love you, man. Fuck you. Like, I thought he went like bipolar as fuck. He didn't really go bipolar.
He did. I mean, that was the weird energy. He came in and he was all just like, it was weird because they wanted to face off and they were facing off. And then Connor was being Connor and probably on some coke or whatever. And he's all just like looking at him. He's all like, he's got his fist up. They both do, and like, but then they're kind of like congratulating each other. And he's like, good fight and all this stuff. And then that fucking Perry says something. I watched the video like 3 times. I couldn't hear what he said. He said something, and Connor goes just like, I never retired. You know what I mean? And he just fucking snaps. And he just starts going off on him.
And they start talking about Donald Cerrone. Like, Donald Cerrone got my arm, dude. He got my arm.
Yeah, that's right.
And that inspired me. When you got rid of Donald, that's inspired me.
It was so weird. And he said something like that, and then Connor snapped. And then Connor calmed down and realized, you know what I mean? And it was good. And then Connor gets on the mic, and he's got the fucking belt. He's got a BKFC belt.
I don't know why he's got the belt, but I love the line. I love that. He's like, I walk in the room and they give me the belt. I'm the fucking champion. I didn't even do anything. That was a good line.
That was a good line. That was a great line. Then he just, he takes the mic and he basically just runs a shoot on BKFC. So it was
he put them over.
That's what I mean. He ran a shoot on him. He just basically did mic work with BKFC, and it was just like, So
Thanks for the favor, bro. That the owner of BKFC must have been thanking all the gods that he could think of. That Connor McGregor fucking put them over.
Yeah, he was trying to like grab Connor's cock behind the screens for sure. Like he was like, "Yo, thank you so much."
Quick little tug.
Little tug. Yeah. Now who knows? I'm sure the UFC behind the scenes is all like
pissed. They're
fucking
pissed.
sending assassins their way, so to speak.
Pissed.
So,
they are pissed. And he wasn't, like I said, Cerrone was there. Justin Gaethje was there in the audience. But
that could have been fucking, Dana White or the UFC didn't give Connor like the color.
I saw something on commentary.
They didn't give him something he wanted. So he was just like, That's cool.
Dude, like literally, the first words out of Connor's mouth were like, "Oh, I couldn't afford to miss this." The first thing I did was I took a plane out here.
Yeah,
and
you don't give me what I want. Watch this. I'm gonna go promote another promotion.
So, dude, I saw something on Twitter that made me laugh. He's like, Connor at BKFC definitely proves to you that we're not getting him and Chandler anytime soon.
Told you, I called that shit,
and you did, and I was like, the more like I read that line, the more I was like, yeah, that fucking makes sense, doesn't it? Fuck.
He still hasn't entered the pool.
It's crazy. And you have 6 months. And there's no way, bro. There's no way Connor, with how big he is and all the, there's no way he's gonna be able to skirt by having like 3 months of testing, especially if he like destroys Chandler on 3 months of testing. You know he's still on some sort of juice, something. That body and that progress that he's made to become like that fucking like giant rock fucking solid dude. No way. No,
I mean, Chandler looks clean. You know, so
Chandler's always been clean. He's been in wrestling he was wrestling for I don't know how many years. So you're already in USADA from that jump. And he went to fucking Bellator and he still dominated guys.
How weird is it though that the sport of wrestling, which is, you know, like you said, associated with USADA, dominated by steroids and PEDs. Dominated.
Not really. You don't hear much of it too often anymore. Truly.
Of course you don't hear about it. You don't even fucking hear about wrestling.
Well, the last wrestler I heard was Gable Steveson, who went to WWE.
And that's not even his real name. But yeah, exactly my fucking point. And that guy's definitely on fucking steroids. Come on. Come on, dude.
Fucking massive. I don't know if he's on steroids.
Massive, dude.
He might be on the juice when he goes to WWE, but
yeah, he has to be, right? That's like a requirement off contract or whatever.
No, not nowadays though. You have so many fucking vanilla midgets that are wrestling and fucking wrestling nowadays. Not at all.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, we're getting
off topic, but yes, Connor, you know, the whole end of it, you know, I thought it was going to kind of steal the show, but it didn't. It just lended to the storyline. The overall storyline, though, BKFC had a phenomenal fucking card. Great weekend.
Yeah, the rest of the card was
UFC was right to not try to compete right against it.
No,
you know what I mean?
They had a good main event we'll talk about, but doesn't compare.
Compare. So yeah, but the Mike Perry fight versus Luke Rockhold is a fantastic fight. If you haven't seen it, go back and check it out.
Short. Most of the short.
Most of the whole card's short. That's why I'm like, dude, this whole card's watchable, like from beginning to end. You know, 9 out of 11 fights, you know, were freaking knockouts or TKOs, stoppages, quits. You know, but that's pretty standard. Not standard, but that's pretty common for BKFC. At least more than half of BKFC fights to end.
That's why they're so easy to watch. Yeah, it's easy to watch.
That's why it's super entertaining.
But you know, they do the same thing Bellator does. Do whenever the fight ends early, they go back to the commentary, they go back to interviews, and it's like,
bro. But you know, with Bellator does it because they got fucking Viacom and fucking space to fill. BKFC, I was watching the broadcast, and I honestly, the whole time I was thinking to myself, I was like, these guys are literally dying. The commentary team, like they're trying to fucking just float conversation like me and you do sometimes. And I'm like, dude, these guys, like there's certain parts where like at one point, you know, they were just talking. They were just like, the guy is just like, man, 2 heavy men just putting hands on each other. I love it. You know, and it was just like,
yeah, fool.
You know, because they're just trying to fill time because there are so many there's so many knockouts. Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. There's so many fucking knockouts. There's so many knockouts one after another where they're just like, back to the boys, back to the desk.
Yeah,
we don't know what to do. You know what I mean? So that's something, I think that's why they brought Chael Sonnen on last minute, because they were like,
he's got live TV experience with ESPN.
Yeah, we need to have somebody with we need to have somebody with that timing, because that's a whole nother part of the production. There's guys who can do that timing. We've seen plenty of promotions, fucking PFL, you know, shit that part of the bed. Bellator, when it comes to the promotion side, ONE FC does not. They're fucking great at that. That's actually, that might be one of the strongest parts of their promotion. Yeah, is that they're great at that. But they got to struggle, you know, because there's so many KOs. But let's move on to the co-main event. The co-main was fantastic. Sorry for the dry throat, guys. The co-main was fantastic, dude. Oh wow, sorry. Chad Mendez versus Eddie Alvarez.
This was fight of the night. Easy.
Both guys came out like not like they were in their prime. Both guys came out like they like they
I expected Alvarez to just drop, because he to me, he's got a glass chin. That's one of the reasons why he declined so greatly. Bro, he declined so greatly in MMA because he kept getting knocked out.
He declined, and then he went over to one of the toughest fucking marketplaces in the world.
Yeah.
Let's asterisk that, okay? He went over and fought a bunch of young guys who were killers, dude. So yes, in you, and we saw it this weekend. To my point is what I'm saying, against a guy like Chad Mendes, who's in his class, who's around his age. I mean, it's a lot smaller than him, technically, but
and he's also on the juice.
Well, I mean, both of them are, but
Oh, I don't think Alvarez. Well, at this stage, he might be, but
you so naive to the juice game.
I just have faith. I have faith.
Yeah, you do. You're right. You're right.
Faith,
now,
bro.
I don't have any mark part of me on that side of things.
Yeah, you want everybody to be fucking looking like Uberine.
No, I'm just realistic.
Possible fighting each other.
I'm just realistic that like most of these athletes we watch on television, including like all of them, are not taking the same things and just going to the gym all the time. Like I'm just that part. I just
yeah, well, with some BKFC guys,
it goes back to Hulk Hogan. Take your vitamins, kids. Eat your vitamins, and
No, some of the guys in BKFC, like you could tell, like they went to the back and they had fucking shots of Jack Daniels and a cigarette waiting.
For sure, but you could still do that and do steroids too. You know what I mean? Like,
you need the steroids to be able to.
You need the steroids, yeah. I mean, look, dude. Look at all of the every episode of what's that the Dark Side of the Ring or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Every episode of that highlights how all those fucking wrestlers, like half of them with those bodies and stuff, were taking so much drugs and steroids, and they're still like competing at such a high level.
But you know what they would do back in the 80s and 70s? They would just fucking do like 2 lines of coke and then like, I'm good to go. And they fucking go, bro.
2? In the 80s? Coke was cheap back then and pure. I think they're probably doing, more like 3 or 4.
I mean, they're not Tony Montanaing themselves.
Sure they were, bro. Why not? It's the fucking 80s, dude.
Fucking put their face in a pile of fucking coke.
Yo. Yeah.
Woo!
Pretty sure in the 80s you weren't cool unless you overdosed. You know what I mean? Like that scene from Madison. You weren't a cool kid unless you pissed your pants. In the 80s, you weren't a cool kid unless you overdosed, I think.
No, you didn't see any overdoses like that, dude. They'd all die later on at like 40, 30.
No, not dying. I just mean like actually overdose. A lot of people overdose and don't die. You know what I mean? Just little drug stat. But, just saying. Yeah. So anyway, back to the fucking fight. Fucking taking the show off no rails at all. Going back to the fight, Mendes certainly came out to fight from the beginning to the end, but Alvarez he uses that range correctly. He uses the length correctly. He was in and out. He was exactly where he needed to be to avoid those significant shots.
No, he ate some significant shots. He was where he needed to be to not avoid the fucking fight ending shots.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. He took the shots that he needed to, and he moved out of where he needed to be, but he was landing. He made Chad's face.
I mean, a couple of those early rounds though, he was fighting on survival, dude. He was fighting on heart and survival. Mendes had him in a couple times when he was.
It was a good fight. It was a great fight.
Yeah, it was a tale of 2 fights really, because Alvarez started off kind of slow and Mendes was in his wheelhouse, getting him early, hurting him early. And then as the fight progressed, he started to slow down a bit. He started getting tired. He started missing some shots. Alvarez started picking up on the game, picking up on his surroundings, being able to duck and dodge some, like you mentioned, those critical fucking fight ending shots, land some of his own, started slowly peppering him. And then he was able to kind of catch up. And that's what led to ultimately his victory, is him being able to make up the deficit in the latter half of the rounds.
Yeah, definitely. 100% agreed. And I mean, I guess you can make a certain argument, if you want to say for Mendes, but I thought the judges just like the whole card overall, like I thought they did a pretty good job, and I don't know who they got to judge this because it wasn't America and it was in Denver. So I don't know who fucking judged it, but I thought they did a really good job.
Something I also want to highlight in regards to the fighters, and Ben Rothwell is the only one that highlighted it in his post-fight. I forgot until he had mentioned that they're in Denver. Oh, that means elevation.
Bro, that was hilarious. I didn't even down in my notes.
Yeah. Dude, I didn't even think about that until he mentioned it. I was like, oh shit, that's right. They are in elevation.
Yeah, and as a former resident of Denver, I can tell you it is a motherfucker. Not just like if you can beat an athlete, like just if you fucking like walk around and breathe. Like, it's a
yeah, dude.
So yeah, that was a hilarious sign. But back to the fight real quick before we jump to that. Mendez, he retires at the end. Which
that was a nice speech he gave.
It was a nice speech he gave. I don't know if he's done. I think he's just do? I mean, well, he's still in the UFC.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He's on loan.
Oh, really?
His whole BKFC tenure has been on loan from the UFC. It's fucking nuts. Never,
I didn't know
that. No one else has done it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the UFC is letting him fight BKFC. And
is it because he's suspended or he's off his suspension now, right?
No, he's off his suspension.
Remember
he couldn't fight because it's a commissioned fight. So he could.
I thought he had asked for his release and then he went to BKFC.
I believe he did ask for his release, but I think instead of releasing him, they just allowed him to stay in his contract and they allowed him to fight out and fight for BKFC.
I'm gonna Google this really quick.
Google it, but yeah, he talked about it on Ariel's podcast like a while ago. Hey man, give me a second. I got to piss, dude. I got to pee so bad. I'll be right back.
Dude, are you serious? This motherfucker. You brought what? I've never seen this before. Oh my god. While Andy pisses, let me go over basically what we were just discussing. According to Google and Wikipedia, on August 1st, 2021, Mendez announced that he was released from his UFC contract by his own request and signed a multi-fight contract with Bare Knuckle. However, he later reiterated that he was still under contract with the UFC, but was given exemption to compete in Bare Knuckle. That's pretty fucking nuts. That's why I didn't know that fucking fact. I'll be goddamn. Wow. Okay, now we're going to lose our viewers because Andy went to piss. Son of a bitch. Well, let me fill some more time while he does that. Yeah, so I mean, just my overall thoughts in regards to the rest of the card. We'll go over it momentarily, but it just, as Andy said, the atmosphere, it's so awesome to watch. It feels like you're watching underground fighting, except it's done with like some decent level production. So I thought that was very well done. Again, I feel like Andy's kind of overstating the main event a little bit. I certainly understand what we're talking about. Hey, I was just feeling time. I was feeling time.
Am I overstating?
I was going back to I was going back to the main event. I felt you were overstating a little bit because I didn't enjoy it as much as you were. I was just offering my sense while filling time.
Yeah, I heard you, bro. I heard you. I heard the whole time, dude.
This is the first time you've ever like got up mid fucking like thing to piss.
I had to pee, dude. It wasn't even a joke. Like I wasn't joking with you. I was trying to hold it. I don't know why it came on me all of a sudden, but I couldn't hold it,
bro.
So, but my bathroom's literally right on the other side, so I could hear the audio the whole time.
Oh my god. My friend who's watching, by the way, said you have a cute dog.
Oh, Dookie boy. He just went out to take a little pee-pee with me. He was just like, Dad's got to pee. I got to pee.
In the woods out there?
Huh?
You just pissed outside? You just like, fuck it?
Yeah, I went in my driveway. Fucking, there's a whole tree line nobody can see. Dark as shit out here. I always pee outside. Constantly, bro. Oh, yeah.
You're like my dad. My dad does that shit. He pisses in the backyard. He don't give a fuck. But he's 85.
I mean, bro,
he's 85. He can't make it back inside the fucking thing. So it's either
you can't see. I can't see my neighbors. Yeah, my neighbors can't see me. You know what I mean? Like literally, you can't see it. I can't see a neighbor, so it's not like I have to hide anywhere. I just go find somewhere. You know, I go off a little bit past my driveway or whatever. But yeah, it's rural living for sure. But you know,
gotta love it.
Gotta love it. You don't pee outside in Florida?
No.
Hold on. You don't pee outside ever? Like when you're drunk with your friends or something?
Yeah, but that's different. When I'm like shit faced downtown, I go behind like a dumpster.
Wow, dude, that's fucking risky. Yeah, I don't know if I do that, bro.
Dude, you want to hear a quick story?
You get charged like that.
You want to hear a quick story? I could have gotten a charge for this one. This quick story. I'll tell you what.
Let's please hear it.
So I was going to an EDM show with my friends, and like we were drinking like fucking crazy beforehand, right? I didn't drive. And like I had like 3 shots, like 3 White Claw, like within like an hour and a half. Like I was fucking litty. I was litty. and I had to piss, right? And I was like, fuck,
Naturally.
I gotta piss.
Yeah.
So we
gotta
get
go somewhere.
we get out the car. First thing I do is there's a tree, and I'm in a public parking lot, but I'm like, I gotta go this bad. So there's a tree in front of the car, and I go whip my shit out. I piss. I'm midstream. I'm like, all right, relief. All of a sudden, I hear a mother and child walking the fucking path that I'm pissing in front of. No. And I'm like, oh God. And I'm looking at my dick. I'm like, hurry up. Then I hear her husband walking behind her. And I'm like, I had to stop midstream, put my shit away, run to my friend. And then the first thing I did when I got back in the club is I went to the bathroom to finish my piss. Because I still had another like 3 minutes of piss to fucking release.
Dude, that's crazy.
And the whole time I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, oh God, I feel so bad. I would be so pissed if I was the husband. Fuck, I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he understood, being a guy. He was probably like, damn, it's not like you meant to do it. You know what I mean? But still, some people do get a little crazy about that, And yeah, you can catch a charge now for peeing out in public. So
yeah, dude.
Careful with that stuff, dude.
Oops.
Especially around a dumpster. You know what I mean? But yeah, overall though, I thought the fight was really good. I thought it was a great fight. And yeah, I don't know what did you find out about? Did you Google his contract? What happened with that?
Exactly on Wikipedia, it said exactly what you said.
Okay. Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Like, I don't know what he must have gave Dana like a fucking like a watch made out of fucking, I don't know, dude, like fucking money or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Dana needs a watch made out of money.
Like he must have given him some fucking.
He probably promised Dana White, like, listen, Dana, if you let me do this, I promise I'll partake in 2 fucking Fridays with you.
Yeah. He's probably like, hey, Dana, listen, if you let me do this next time, your wife, okay. But
I'll slap instead of you. You're good.
Yeah, dude, you know what I mean? I'll take the rap. But fucking
this show has just been this whole fucking time.
Honestly, that's my goal, to drive it right into the dirt. That's my hope. But yeah, it was a good co-main event. Moving on, the next fight was fucking insane. Rawlings versus Ferreira. Beck Rawlings is a old UFC vet, and I want to say this, dude, to see where she went, where she's been in her striking. You know what I mean? Like to see where she's gotten her striking has been like absolutely insane. You know what I mean? Like because she wasn't that good of a striker in the UFC. She focused a lot on submissions and groundwork and stuff. She'd know more of as a brawler, but to go in there, go toe to toe with Ferreira, and Ferreira's fucking a beast, dude. I mean, she is honestly like the Amanda Nunes of bare knuckle. Like she just so strong, so technical, just able to really just outwork most of the girls that she fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this was the case with Beck Rawlings, but dude, this was the first fight I've seen of hers in Ferreira's and in BKFC where she fucking got answered. She was getting answered. Beck Rawlings just wasn't able to have the power. That was a big problem.
No, Beck was hitting her, but it wasn't affecting her that much. But regardless, she was still getting her shots in. She still looked effective. If the fight would have continued,
uppercuts.
Yeah, if the fight would have continued, she probably might have had a shot to win based off of what's it called, accumulation. Based off of what's it called? I forget the goddamn word. Volume. Yeah, volume. She probably would have had a shot from that standpoint, but no, she got a gash on her eye, and they called it.
Yeah, I definitely think she's and the doctor was in love with her eye, because that doctor kept checking her eye out. It was like left and right. It was like, yo, let me see that eye. But it wasn't a bad stoppage. Rawlings, I thought she did a really good job, dude. There was a couple of the Mike Tyson fucking sign his fucking.
That is a sign of the show. Just fucking tank. This show.
I'm not gonna do anything to it. I'm gonna let it happen.
Let it hang.
Let it hang.
Let it hang like your dick in the driveway.
That's right. Let it hang. Let it hang. Freedom, baby. America. Rawlings, she caught Ferreira with a lot of good exchanges. There was like a lot of good counters and stuff. She came in, got a lot of good flurries mixed in with that uppercut. So I really like that work, dude. I can honestly, even with her being stopped, like you said, like it was interesting. It would have been interesting to see where it kept going, because I don't think the eye was really messing with her. You know, that's the one part I kind of don't agree with the stoppage.
No,
I do think Ferreira would have eventually caught her clean.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But it essentially the whole, you know, Ferreira did good. And I think she showed there was some things that was shown. She was exposed a little bit, and Rawlings definitely will be back.
I want to see
whether it's against her or for somebody else. I think she'll be back. Huh?
I want to see a rematch. I think Beck Rawlings should get one fight. If she wins pretty good, rematch.
Yeah. I don't see anyone beating Ferreira right now. So I agree with you.
You know more about the roster than I do, so I'll take your word.
Well, there's not much of one, but yeah, it's fucking, you know, the Rawlings is definitely in the front runner, and because of her name, you know, BKFC would be, you know, dumb not to.
I mean, Beck Rawlings, despite the fact that Ferreira is a champion, Beck Rawlings is the female face of BKFC.
She is
100%.
Until Barbie came on the scene.
Paige Van Zandt.
Paige Van Zandt, thank you, PVZ.
So she's the face of fucking mediocrity.
She's literally like the president was just like, we'll give her another fight, but she better start winning. Basically,
yeah, because they probably paid her an arm and a leg, and she fucking showed her face.
Of course,
she Luke Rockhold in her first fight.
Yeah, she Luke Rockhold in her first fight, and
she didn't quit.
I haven't heard anything really since. I mean, dude, who didn't predict that? Like, really? She's gonna go to bare knuckle and get punched in the face. Same thing with fucking model man Rockhold. He's gonna go to fucking BKFC and get punched in the face when he takes pictures for a living? I don't think so. Yeah.
You're going to the most underground of the mainstream promotions.
But dude, hey, talk about fucking for real. And not only that, you're going to like the Kumite of fucking the MMA world. And then not only that, dude, you get your fucking teeth cracked on national television. Like when you are a fucking model, it's not good. No bueno. You know what I mean?
No
like,
bueno.
Gotta get out of there.
But bro, fucking get veneers. Like I said, get veneers. Everybody and their mother got veneers. Get veneers.
He did. He got his teeth fixed immediately, by the way. So I don't know if he got veneers. I think he actually did some kind of plaster work. It looked like it, but he goddamn, he's got a big jaw. I didn't think his jaw get any bigger. He's like Mr. Incredible right now. So
he's still not Raul Rosas.
Hey, that's true. And that's a point.
That's a good thing. He's not.
That is a good thing. But yeah, overall, dude, that fight was bonkers. It really was. Like from start to finish. Rawlings came out to fight and Ferreira came out to fight. Like, I mean, she's just a beast, dude. If you haven't seen any of her other fights, if this is the first time you're watching her fight, she's a monster.
Worth the watch. She's worth the watch. 100%.
Every time she fights,
but especially Beth Rawlings.
There's just not a BKFC fight that's really not worth checking out. You know what I mean? To be honest, even if it's a stinker, like there's so many other fights that aren't. It's crazy.
No, yeah, you're like if you watch 2 stinkers on an 11 fight card, that's a good card.
It's pretty all right. And the 2 stinkers that went to decision weren't fucking bad. They weren't bad. You know,
in whole disclosure, I only watch the pay-per-view events. You watch the whole card. So the 2 of the decisions happened on the prelim fights. Yeah. So you know, that is what it is.
But speaking of the new card, let's move on. In the first, they call it the first premium fight of the card was Rothwell versus Copeland. And man, it was a premium fight. It was a fucking fight and a half, dude. It was a good one to kick it off.
Up until Ben Rothwell and up until Eddie Alvarez and Chad Mendes, this was fight of the night.
It was, dude. I mean, honestly, just in terms of sheer power, I would almost give it more because every strike. The only thing with this fight was it was in slow motion because of the heavyweights compared to like Eddie Alvarez and especially Ferreira and Rawlings.
Oh, Ben Rothwell's in heaven because he doesn't have to cut weight anymore.
But he doesn't cut weight anymore, which we'll get to that at the end of the fight too. But dude, it was amazing. Like literally every strike these guys threw was a fucking hammer. It was a meat hawk, dude. It was just like
Oakland ate so many shots that like the average man would be fucking in a coma. They would be in a fucking coma.
The average man would have died.
And Copeland just eating them shits. And I mean, granted, he had no steam
by the warrior, dude.
By the end of that fight, he had no steam on his punches. But goddamn, yeah, he ate some fucking ham hawks.
Even by the end of his fight, most of his punches would have killed like Mighty Mouse, like just like ended his career.
Oh yeah, someone like a 135er, 155er. Oh, they would have been, dude. They would have been like just fucking face first, ass up.
Hey, him versus Matt Hughes right now. Just saying, you know what I mean?
Bro, like, I mean, that might be a good thing for Matt Hughes. He might be able to knock some of that.
Fix it. Fix it. Yeah, you know what I mean. Get your fix it.
Or it might give him PTSD on the train tracks. The impact.
Yeah, dude, you imagine that he knocks out Hughes and then fucking he does his fucking little. All right, moving on. So it's the reason why we call it the rails, guys. So yeah, Rothwell definitely proved his like he came. He is a BKFC guy in every facet that Mike Perry is a BKFC guy because it's the same story.
He's not
UFC.
He's not that wild.
No, he's not that wild. I'm just saying in the facet, like it's not a direct comparison. In the way that he was falling in the UFC, he had an all right career, wasn't known as like the biggest guy. He was always had kind of like awkward interviews, wasn't a fan favorite for sure. But in BKFC, he is a fucking fan favorite. Yeah, they love his style. They love his weirdness. And that's what I'm saying. He's kind of like akin to Mike Perry. He comes over and he's 2-0. He's calling for I fucking loved it. I honestly, I can't believe he had a good interview because he never does really.
Hey, he's like, you don't want to fight me, pussy? He's like, then drop the belt. I'll fight the other guy for the belt. He's like, if you want to fight me, but fight for the belt.
That part honestly, the first part of the interview was fantastic. The second part was classic Ben Rothwell, like kind of like weird and like train railed it off. But the beginning of it, he almost did a bit. There was this moment where the interviewer was just like, what do you think's going on now? And he's just like, he does that weird thing. He always does this thing. Well, then he starts to talk, but instead of that, dude, he just went authentic and he just went, BKFC fans, you want to see me fight for the title? Yeah. And it was just like, boom. And it was like, there you have it. And it was like, yes, there you have it. That's right, dude. Like that is the fucking storyline right there. You got it.
It's like Denver.
And it's
Fuck
Denver.
Your elevation.
Yeah, dude, that was great. The crowd loved it. The crowd was like, fuck us, dude.
Yeah, they laughed. I'm not gonna tell you anything. Don't beat me up, motherfucker. Don't punch me.
He's like, first and foremost, fuck you guys in this elevation, huh?
Yeah, that was good.
Great interview. Great fight for Rothwell. Copeland came out like a beast too. I think they both like good. I'm glad that Copeland's corner tossed the towel. Yeah. I guess he's gonna be looking for a new team, but still saved his career. So, hey, I think there should be some kind of thing where like when they cut the team, like for throwing the fight, like, but if the fighter's successful and keeps going, oh, my bad, guys. If the fighter's successful and keeps going on and, like he should have to give a cut to that management team, bro. Cause come on, it's not fair, bro. Like, they literally saved him.
After the round, he was so gassed, bro.
His face too.
Yeah.
His face compared to fucking Rothwell.
Meat. Yeah. His face looked like hamburger meat. He was gassed as shit. Yeah, dude, like after that round was over, he just like kind of slumped over on the fucking ropes and was just like, son of a bitch, dude. That's literally his fucking reaction. Just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Literally what he's saying, dude. And the crowd is just like, or the corner is just like, nah, man, like, nah, like if we let you go back out there, we're gonna need oxygen to get you out this bitch.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a solid decision by the corner. I understand he's gonna be sore about it. Hopefully he gets over it.
I wonder because he, like I said, he was so gassed. And granted, that was Rothwell fucking, just digging the body. That was
how is Rothwell so how does he have so much cardio now? You know what I mean? Like that's the one thing. Like he's definitely doing something to have this fucking EPO. He's definitely doing something. You know what I mean? What's up, TJ? Yeah. He's definitely doing something to fucking get this extra gas because he is outlasting these guys. It's literally walking around at 275 fucking pounds.
He's training the same without weight cutting.
It's true.
That's the thing. So without the weight cut, he's got the extra strength. And like I said, I think
he's like a fucking athletic Roy Nelson.
He is. And taller. He's not like short and stocky. But no, I think what it was, he looked even better, like I said, because of that body work. And that was the best body work that anybody did throughout that entire night. He dug so many fucking hammers to the body, dude. And I was gonna make a point and stop my own point. I was like, oh, maybe Copeland was affected by the elevation as well. And I was like, no, you can counter that by saying Rothwell just beat the shit out of this guy's fucking like torso half the fucking fight, and that more than certainly contributed to basically
he was in the clinch. And to prove to your point, he was in the clinch so much and so often. Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 times where he almost threw knees. Like he actually tied and he thought about throwing knees and went, no, wrong sport. And then just fucking started going uppercuts again. Yeah, but it was like
oh my god, bro. And like you said, those like you mentioned, those uppercuts that Copeland ate. Slow. Oh my god,
strong. They were like,
if anybody should have had cracked teeth, it should have been Copeland.
That was literally like every fight. It was like every punch was like,
Bro, it looked like a fight. It looked like, it looked like the slow-mo from when the Fight Night video games.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. That's what I mean. Like at the very last minute, it like goes all the way through, but you're like fucking remember that NFL game? It wasn't Madden. It was better than Madden. Blitz. Oh, bro. When
NFL
you like
Blitz.
break bones and shit, and you like that's what every fucking hit was like. It was literally like an X-ray. Every time he fucking hit him, you could see the bones inside getting weaker.
You know what I always wonder?
Red. You know
what's it like being a fucking like third-party doctor watching this? That's got to be like some insane feelings.
Stressful, probably.
That's got to be some intense feelings watching this shit, dude.
They probably watch it like Chuck watches fights. You know what I mean?
Quick plug for YouTube and Twitch, even though we're not on Twitch tonight because there's another live show going on. I think Radulich is doing a show.
Sorry, Chuck.
Dude, watch us out on the YouTube replay so you can see some of the gyrations that Andy and I make when we're describing things. It's fucking gold. It's gold.
Like we should have a whole compilation.
W2M Network, guys.
Bye. Yeah, there should be a whole compilation. I'm gonna have to get this guy some dog food, bro. That's what it is. He's trying to get some food out of me. But yeah, you know, I thought overall though, going back to the fight, you know, like I said, I thought it was a great interview for Rothwell. Best interview of his career for sure. He did have a really interesting thing to say at the very end of the fight where he mentioned that, you know, he mentioned that Dave. Keep wanting to say Dave Smith. I can't remember the president's last name. The BKFC press. He mentioned that he basically already has the fight with Belcher in the works.
Yeah,
and that the fight limit was going to be at 285. So are they saying that for this fight it's going to be 285, or it must? But that can't be right. They must be saying that the new division limit will be 285.
That makes sense. Well, that's only 2 pounds for if he has to cut. He came in at 287.
Hey, hold on. You get him.
So he came in at 287, so that only means he has to cut 2 pounds, which is fine enough. What is that? A shit?
Yeah. Well, but I mean, dude, 185 compared to like I feel like you're gonna start running into the UFC issue. Thanks, babe. They're gonna start running into the UFC issue where you know you just have guys that are so big. You know,
so I don't know the weight class system in BKFC, or what is that like? Because I mean, Rockhold and Perry was at like 85 or some shit, 165, something like that.
185, yeah,
185, right?
It's very similar to the UFC's, but with the heavyweights, I think it's like 211 and up.
It's like open weight.
It's very open weight, and yeah, so that's kind of like I think you know that's the thing is you know if you're gonna do something like that, if you've got the numbers, and I don't know if they have the numbers, if they had the numbers in the roster, you know, do a super heavyweight division. You know what I mean? Get 2 belts out of it. You might as well, but they might not have the numbers for it. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Dude, I don't want to see fucking butterbean looking motherfuckers throwing hands, or do I?
But yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And Ben Rothwell's like fucking dude. He said
like Butterbean.
Yeah, he probably is gonna be like, cool. I'm gonna walk around 300.
He probably is, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
he's not cutting weight. He's just losing weight from his workouts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fucking. Dude, can you imagine that guy's fucking caloric intake? Just fucking like.
Oh, it's gotta be like 50,000.
Yeah. Like, dude, like a Brock Lesnar like diet, right? Like a guy like that big, like doing that much work all the time.
I mean, for comparison, The Rock has I think it's 11,000 calories a day.
Well, but The Rock, let's be honest, The Rock's also like fuck. I mean, I'm not saying Ben Rothwell's not doing steroids.
Oh,
but
The Rock,
saying, like The Rock is on
all
like
the premier HGH and fucking EPO you can find.
Yeah, dude, bro, he's. Yeah, are you kidding me? He's got fucking he's got Armstrong running on a fucking like doing a bike in the back of his like mobile gym trailer, like just siphoning off parts of his blood so he can fucking do EPO. You know what I'm saying? Like he's getting the pure stuff from the source.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? True. Like fucking dude, that's hilarious. Think about you kidnap Lance Armstrong so you can fucking
and you fucking Dracula him so you can get EPO. What the fuck?
You Dracula him so you can fucking get stronger and faster. I mean, I haven't seen him recently. You know, maybe that's what TJ's resurgence is about.
He's on a thing somewhere. He's on a ranch in Texas somewhere.
All right, man. Don't ruin my fantasy for me. But listen, anyway, once Belcher for the heavyweight fell, I thought it was great. Anything else on that fight before we move on?
No, it was a fun fight.
Fun fight. All right, moving on. Kamosi versus Spawn, dude. This
Kamosi
fight
wrecked.
was bananas, dude.
Yeah.
Kamosi was fucking eating Spawn alive.
He's another guy. Found his home. He found his home.
Definitely found his home, Chris Kamosi. And dude, yeah, left hands like a motherfucker, dude. And Spoon just kept eating him, dude. 3 knockdowns inside of 60 seconds. 3 knockdowns inside of 60 seconds.
I was thinking, they're like, there's no 3 knockdown rule. And I'm like, why is there not?
What?
3 knockdowns in a round? Why is there not a 3 knockdown?
They don't play that shit, dude, because they don't play that shit.
Ah, man. I mean, you would think that would be kind of relatively applicable at this stage, bro. I mean,
maybe they would.
I would want to see that, dude.
It seems like the refs kind of have their own like unsaid, like you know what I mean? Like they kind of have their own thing. But
he didn't call it.
He might not be wrong. I don't know. But listen, at the beginning of the fight, though, dude, there was this beautiful leaping left hand that started the fight that Chris Kamosi threw, bro.
Yeah,
it was like a Superman type jab. Ooh, it was so clean, man.
Set the tone.
Set the tone.
Literally what it said. Knuckle up, scratch, knuckle up.
Bam, dude. He just
within
like
5
Zorro'd his ass. He literally like Zorro'd his ass. Like just smacked him. And then like he did, bro. He Zorro'd him, and then every punch that he landed.
What's the cat with the sword? What's the cat with the sword?
Puss in Boots.
Yeah, Puss in Boots them.
He Puss in Boots them, dude. With that little rapier. Yeah, no, he murked him, dude. And every punch he threw was so crisp, was clean. And it wasn't overwhelming, insane volume, but it was accurate, clean strikes. And when he landed with that uppercut, dude, that first one Spawn went right down, and it was like, ooh, that's not a good
there. The second one was more of an accumulation due to pressure
and a trip,
and the third one was just
obvious.
Yeah, third one was just like the first one, and then was
obvious. Yeah, Chris Kamosi goes 2-0 in BKFC, so that was fucking fantastic for him.
He's found his home.
Found his home for sure. Okay, moving on. Gertz versus Torres, dude. Fuck, dude. Torres immediately came out way too fucking aggressive. He just came out, and it's funny because in the last fight, Gertz was the same way. Gertz came out blitzing like insane, and his coaches were like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? But not in this fight, dude. Torres just came out, it blitzed him and immediately ran into fucking Kurtz's beautiful right hand. He just countered the hell out of him, dude, and then repeated that. That was the thing. Torres did try to embody Chris Lieben, but he failed at it, and he just kept going forward. Gertz, just the footwork, the defensive footwork of him backing up and circling to his left while throwing counter rights immediately in the same fucking sequence was just so fucking beautiful. I love that. I love that sequence. And he put him on his ass. He put Torres right on his ass with those inside right hooks like you were talking about. That was probably some of the best like display of that in the whole card. Was right there, and finished him with that flurry of uppercuts and sent him right to the ground. And Torres just couldn't do a damn thing. He couldn't do anything.
Overwhelmed.
Couldn't get started. Overwhelmed completely. And like I said, excellent defensive footwork by Gertz, dude. I mean that guy has some excellent fucking inside footwork when he's back.
You said the footwork is so unheralded in BKFC. So for sure. I agree.
Yeah, you gotta have it. Fantastic fight. Next fight, Brown versus Alvarado.
This shocked me. So, are you familiar with Mike Alvarado?
Dude, I've seen him fight. Yeah, he's fighting.
Yeah, Mike Alvarado, former fucking WBO junior lightweight champion. Dude, I did not expect. I did not expect that, dude. Like, I expected Alvarado to come in there and show like technicality, like we hadn't seen in any of the fights, and he looked okay, but Brown had he had a solid game plan to keep Alvarado away from him. And
he looked like shit. Alvarado looked like ass.
Yeah, he did not look good. He ate a couple of he had some, you know what I didn't want, like, how do you get like cuts on your like head? It's got to be from like either the knuckle or like scratching, right? He might have scratched him, and that's how he had several cuts. He had one in like the back of his head, one on the top, one in the eye. No, like he got open, like he was bleeding like a seed. He
Yeah,
was
dude.
bleeding like a sieve in that fight, dude.
It's just, bro. People just underestimate the lack of the glove. It's just an instant cut.
The Ben Rothwell fight. Ben Rothwell got fucking cut in like literally 35 seconds.
30 seconds.
35 seconds. He hit one in the fucking eye.
The Vaseline is just there for show, almost. I mean, honestly, because it's literally almost worthless. Like,
dude, do you feel like I feel like these fighters like they just put their knuckles like in BKFC like through like sandpaper. You just fucking rough them shits like all the way up.
Sandpaper, then like ice water, then like fucking coals, then fucking back and forth.
Bro, like you must have like
dipping.
Bro, like literally, like to shake a bare knuckle fighter's hand got to be like shaking concrete.
Well, any fighter's hands,
like asphalt. You just fucking asphalt.
You shake a lot of fighters. Honestly, though, a lot of fighters don't fucking squeeze because a lot of fighters got fucking broken fingers and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like my buddy, I was telling you about. Bro, his hands, he's one of those dudes. He's like, Yo Romero, you like touch him, you're like, oh, you're a different person. You know what I mean? Like he's just made of like stiffness, his whole body is just rigid.
Yeah.
It's like a piece of wood touching him. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, his hands, you're like, God, dude, you could, squeeze my finger off or something. But yeah, going back to the fight though, dude. There was a big theme throughout the whole fight while it lasted of Alvarado's corner, and it was what are you doing?
Throw your hands.
Do you understand me?
Yeah.
What's going on? His coach.
You have world championship boxing hands. Dude, his coach, let them go.
This is what was happening. He was getting touched like fucking incredibly by Brown. It was a masterclass by Brown.
Yeah, Brown also, you talked about defensive footwork. Bro. He used defensive footwork so well in that fight. Pop circle. Get in there, get back out. Get in there, circle away from the punch. Circle. So he made Alvarado chase him, and Alvarado didn't have the effective knowledge of the circle in order to cut him off effectively. And that's really what it is. Boxing, you survive in boxing off of cutting the ring off and keeping them in a designated like section, location, linear. And Alvarado just couldn't keep up with the fact that James Brown was more athletic, and he used defensive footwork quite well every time he would go in and out of those shots.
So well, dude, and he wasn't getting touched at all. I mean, he was just like Brown, the face at the end, dude, Brown, the doctor, thankfully, finally the doctor looked at him and was like, nah, dude, this is done. Like, didn't even let the fourth round start.
No.
And, meanwhile, Brown looks like he just, he just came back from the grocery store. Like,
Brown looked like he looked like he went on a run.
That's what I'm saying. It just looks like he's fine.
He's sweating like he went on a run. That's it.
Just went to Walmart.
At first, something. It's funny because at first you talk about the defensive footwork, and at first when I started watching fight, I was like, dude, why is Brown fucking running? Stop being a bitch and stand in the circle. But the more I looked at it, and the more I've realized the game plan, the more I was like, oh, this is defensive. Like this is tactical. Yeah, this is tactical movement. This is for sure.
He was definitely there to fight, and I mean, I don't know. Hopefully Alvarado will be back, but his coaches were not too happy with his performance.
No, can't blame the coaches. You got to throw your fucking hands, dude. It was literally Ryan Garcia in rounds 3 through fucking 5.
Yeah. Well, anyway, all right. Well, moving to before we finish, but James Brown moves on to 2-0. You know what I mean? So he's definitely something to be reckoned with in BKFC. Yeah, for sure. Next fight was Cameron versus Roman. It was a good fight. It was a real good opening fight. A lot of action.
A good opening fight. Yeah.
I think it was a draw. And that was correct.
It was a majority draw because of the fact that Roman, I believe it was, got the
knockdown.
Got the knockdown with like 10 seconds to go in the fight. Some shit like that. Something like that. She got a really late knockdown that definitely affected it. Similar to Alvarez. One thing we glossed over in the Eddie Alvarez and Chad Mendes fight is they had 3 knockdowns apiece, including one in the
that's true.
One apiece in the final round.
Yeah.
And that affected the scoring tremendously as well. Because Mendes was up in the round and then he got knocked down, and then Alvarez was up. Then Alvarez had the lead, and then Alvarez got a little too crazy, and then Mendes countered, and then that was a toss-up round. But because I think Alvarez is more effective, that's why he managed to get the split on that standpoint. So in this fight in particular, this is the first fight where we saw the knockdown in the final frame actually affect the outcome of the fight tremendously, because Roman was down. She didn't do enough early on in that fight, and then over the course of the rest of later on in the fight, she made up some ground. She looked better. But she needed something. And even though she was going to probably take that L because of the fact that like her shortcomings in the early part of the fight, you know, she couldn't make it up in time. She got that knockdown and that saved it from an L to a draw. So credit to her.
Yeah, definitely credit to her. But yeah, I think it definitely kind of muddied a little bit of the fight itself, but it was a good fight.
Sure.
I thought both of them, you know, they're just new at BKFC. You know, I think we saw just kind of two new people versus
No,
each other.
well, this was what's her face's second fight. This was I keep forgetting her name because I don't know them. Cameron. This is Cameron's second fight. This is Roman's debut. Roman, to her credit, she's never had a professional. This was her complete professional debut.
That's what I'm saying. Both of them are still really new. I feel like that was
as like as a boxer, and like
I feel like they could have win a little more. Maybe it was
boxer, something like that.
Performance jitters or something. But yeah,
maybe.
No,
to be honest, I don't know. I feel like maybe this fight should have been like one of the prelim fights, but whatever.
Exactly. You know? I agree. Yeah, exactly. Okay, moving on. The next Edwards versus Jackson.
I did not see the fight. So
it was a fantastic fight though. The biggest difference was the power, bro. Like every time Edwards was landing, it was just so much, and eventually just overloaded Jackson. It was over within 2-3 minutes. You know what I mean? It was ended in the first round. Edwards just really you know, it's just like I said, he overpowered him. That was a great fight. Moving on, the next fight was Dylan Weimer versus Matthew Matthias. And dude, fucking very similar to Gitz versus Torres, dude. Weimiller came out so aggressive, but instead he actually it paid off. He caught Matthias with a massive right hand and put him out on his feet immediately. I mean, immediately, dude. And that was the first fight I actually watched live. I went back and watched the previous fights, which we won't talk about, but this was the first fight I watched live. And yeah, it was amazing because like I said, immediately he caught this guy and it was just fucking over within, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds. So it was a great fight. It started off the whole card. It set the tone for BKFC for the whole card, I thought, even though there was a knockout before, but yeah, it was incredible. It set the tone for me watching the card at least. But yeah, a whole card definitely worth the watch. Biggest thing I think to take away was, like I said, it was a huge card for BKFC, one of their biggest cards yet so far. BKFC press said they're, you know, possibly within a month or two from getting a TV deal with the.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know what that means, but yeah,
Spike got to be on Spike.
Something Paramount, be Paramount now, but yeah,
true.
You know, we shall see, but I'm definitely a fan.
Congrats to BKFC. Yeah, I was a fan before. This just continues my fandom.
And I definitely think they caught a lot more fans this weekend. They definitely.
Oh, Mike Perry has a big. Mike Perry and Luke Rockhold both have significant social media followings. Chad Mendez as well. So this is a good fight. Like literally, the only way they could have done better is if they would have put Paige on this card. Honestly, and I'm not saying that just for shits and giggles because of the fact that he's a mediocre fighter. I think in terms of if you really wanted some eyes on the card, like some more eyes, more significant eyes, you probably could have put her on the card.
Yeah, I don't think so. Ain't nobody trying to watch her fight in BKFC right now, man.
I mean, you know I'm talking about from a business standpoint, not like a fan quality standpoint.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like numbers wise, like I don't know. I mean, yeah, she could have been. She wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been a good fight. Like that. It would honestly, business wise, no, because it wouldn't have been a good fight. It wouldn't have lent well to the card.
They could have put her against. You know, they could have done. They could have put her against up against what's her face, against one of the girls in the first fight.
Beck Rawlings? Oh
no, one of the girls in the first fight.
She would have got murdered.
You think?
Murdered?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. She would have got murdered.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I do.
No, I would have taken Van Zandt against one of them.
Against which one?
Definitely against Roman. Cameron would have been more difficult.
You're crazy. She's not displayed any type of. That's why I like it. She's just a name in BKFC. She's a dude. She got fucking murdered in that first fight. Dude. Okay, how about this? What she fight? How about she fight somebody she's worth paying to fight? She fought Beck Rawlings or Ferreira.
Oh no, she would.
What?
She would be quitting because of cracked teeth.
She'd be quitting because of cracked teeth. Cracked everything. You know what I mean? She'd be running home to Austin. 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, regardless, BKFC, like I said, hopefully they get a TV deal. We'll see where that lands. I've been watching them, since they very first started. We've been checking them out and investing into them. So, yeah, definitely excited to cover it and to see them have such a big card. We do have some other things to talk about.
Yep.
We've got UFC happened this weekend too.
Yep. You only caught the main event for the most part, so we could talk about the main event for sure. That was a damn good main event.
Yeah, it was a really good main event.
The main event, Sonya Dong versus Ricky Simone. I picked Simone thinking that Simone would, be able to show like that next level, but Yadong was the one that was on some shit, boy. He was on some shit. Yadong looked the best he's ever looked. He looked flashy. He looked at ease. He really took it to Simone. Like it was Simone still did stuff in the fight. It wasn't like a one-sided affair, but it was mostly all Sonya Dong, 100%.
All Sonya Dong. Yeah, dude, it was all Dong. No
all
side.
Dong, full Dong, no lube,
dude. Just
full
going,
Dong,
dude.
no lube, bro.
Yeah. Ricky the Steamboat ran into a bigger steamboat, ran into a dam.
That fucking fourth round, dude. He fucking there was a time I think Simone threw like a 4-punch combination and fucking Dong was like whoop 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 whoop. He looked like he looked like fresh Cody Garbrandt, bro. I was like, what? I was like, what? Holy shit. And he was feeling himself. He was talking a little bit of shit like after the rounds, like when Herzog was the referee, Herzog would break them up. Yeah, dude. It was
it was a good fight.
Damn.
And yeah, he finished him. He finished him in the 5th round. You know what I mean?
He did. No, because he had knocked him down in the 4th. You saw that, like he knocked him down clean right at the bell at the 4th. And the 60 seconds wasn't enough to recover. You could say that he was on his feet, but I don't think he was 100% coherent. He got dropped again with I think it was a left hook in the 5th round, and then Yadong finished the job with ground strikes. Like I said, fantastic fight for Sonya Dong. Based off of the rankings, now he moves up 1. He jumps Dominic Cruz to 7. I mean, now at this stage, I think I'll give you his next fight right now. Chito Vera.
It's not bad.
Chito Vera's at 5. That'll be the next test, I think, for Sonya Dong. Rob Font's calling for a title shot. I'm thinking that they'll put him against Petr Yan to see who's next from that standpoint. And then he's kind of in the backlog between Sandhagen and O'Malley and Dagashvili, depending on how Aljo and Cejudo go. Which we'll preview toward the end of the night here. But yeah, dude. Great shit. Yeah. Great shit.
Hell yeah. And you said you watched the rest of the card?
Yeah, I'll just rapid fire this really quick. A couple early what's it called? Knockouts. The co-main event was Borrahillo versus Olechesniak. It was a really good fight. Olechesniak basically early on did well in the exchange.
Performance of the night.
Yeah, it was a really good back and forth fight. This was Borrahillo's first fight in the UFC. So they gave him a decent test early on. Both guys kind of had like nervous jitters going into the fight.
It was scary, bro. Like if you saw Borrahillo in like a fucking alley.
Oh no.
Fucking run, dude.
No
way. No way.
No, dude. Yeah, 100%.
Here you go, dude. Take everything.
No, 100%. He had Borrahillo had a little bit of those early jitters, but he settled down.
I would fucking have a bazooka.
He had Chris
with that guy.
Dude, he had a Chris stand-up game. He had a couple of flying knee attempts that looked super solid. If they would have landed, they would have put Olechesniak out. And then he got him on the ground early in the second round. And this is something I don't recall much of Olechesniak's fights, but I remember the commentary team said in particular, like it's one of his like biggest like deficiencies is his ground game. It's like he basically only uses the top half, and you could definitely see that. Like the legs were not in play, like his technique was not in play. He was just basically kind of defending with the upper half of his body, and he kind of got lost. And that was kind of definitely the feeling you got when you watched him on the ground, is he kind of got lost from that standpoint. Borrahillo basically hit him with a head and arm choke, and he defended the choke wrong. And you're supposed to give up your back in that instance to get the choke and then work from there. But he turned back into the choke, and so he reclamped it on and put it even tighter the second time and got him out from that standpoint. So that was a really great fight, great debut for Borrahillo. And then Rodolfo Vieira,
Brazilian Dracula,
bro. And then the next fight after that was Rodolfo Vieira and Cody Brundage. Brundage had some good success early on. But Vieira weathered the storm. He weathered the storm and fucking managed to get him out toward the end of the second round with another tight submission. It was a really, really good fight, really good back and forth fight. Like I said, Brundage definitely had some success early on, kind of slowed down at the end of the first round as Vieira basically kind of got his footing, got himself back in the game. Second round was very back and forth. Before Vieira basically, I think he knocked him down and he managed to fucking finish him off with submission, of which I'm not recalling what it was exactly. But regardless, though, it was a really big fight, really big win, I should say, for Vieira for sure. So that was a very solid fight. Both of those are easy watches. And then Julian Erosa versus Fernando Padilla. That was insane. That was an insane fight, and there was a little bit of controversy in regards to that finish. So basically, Erosa was back and forth. He got caught with a shot early, but then he managed to catch Padilla with a couple shots of his own, and then Padilla cracked him lovely with a left. Cracked him really lovely, and it wobbled him, sent him back. What's his face? God damn it! I just said his fucking name and I goddamn forgot. But Erosa basically was kind of trying to like defend himself, trying to like try and get his wits about him. He got cracked again. As he was basically trying to turn away, he's trying to reset himself, and he got cracked again. Got on the ground, and then as he was trying to get out, got cracked again on the ground, and he fell face first, but he was still coherent. And I think it was god damn it, the whiskey ref, the guy who smokes cigarettes and has whiskey that Dominic Cruz always hates. Kevin.
Keith Peterson.
Keith Peterson, yeah. Peterson stopped the fight early, and there was a little bit of controversy basically because Erosa's like, I'm still good. But if he would have kept eating the shots, it would have just been the same. Got up, kind of reset, got cracked again, he would have gone back down. So it wasn't that bad of a stoppage, but a little bit of controversy in regards to the stoppage itself. The remainder of the main card I did not watch from that perspective. Just to round off the highlights. Marcos Rodrigo de Lima beat Cortez Acosta by unanimous decision, and Josh Keenan beat Trey Waters also by unanimous decision. So I didn't see the rest of the card. Obviously, the big focus this week for us was on BKFC. BKFC, beyond a shadow of a doubt, even beyond that, even with the two submissions and the knockout that I mentioned, including the good main event with UFC, still dominated from that perspective. So one thing we did skip over is you didn't give the BKFC card a grade. We said we wanted to grade it. What do you grade the BKFC card?
BKFC card, I give it a fucking 9, dude.
Oh, you want to do 9 out of 10?
9 out of 10. Honestly, it was a smash. It was a really good card. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8. How about that?
I was gonna say I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8.
I'll give it an 8.
I'll give it an 8. UFC card, just rate the main event because you didn't watch the thing. What do you think about the main event?
I'll rate the whole card. I feel like the card was like a 4 overall.
Well, it had no name recognition beyond the main event.
Yeah,
a couple of fights did drop off, but that was kind
of
the
main event was good though.
UFC in a way. So I'm not gonna rate the whole card. Just like I don't think it's fair to rate the whole card given the perspective and given the night. I'm only gonna rate the main event. The main event was a very solid 7 in my opinion. 7 to 8. Definitely love that main event. If I were to rate the whole card,
very fucking high rating.
It was a really entertaining main event. Yadong
7 or an 8 though.
Yes, at least a 7, dude. I'd say a 7. Oof. I'd say a 7. If you're gonna press me, I'll give it a 7. I'll give that main event a 7. It was I don't want
to press you.
No, but I would give the main event a 7, dude. It was a very, very solid main event. Zero doubt about that. So
right on. Okay. Well, another thing we got. So moving on, the next thing we'll do. Let's talk about UFC 288. Let's go ahead and preview that real quick. We'll go ahead and give you our breakdown, or not breakdown. We're not gonna break it down. We'll just preview them and do our predictions. Okay, so starting from the top, the main card, huge fight, huge implications at the championship on the line, bantamweight division, Aljamain Sterling versus Henry Cejudo, dude, Triple C coming in. I love this fight, to be honest, and I like it because both guys are fucking great. I still think Henry is at the top. I still think he's probably just as good as he was.
That's the key. That's the two keys are going to be ring rust and dealing with Aljo's power. Nobody at 125 had Aljo's power, and how does he deal with any potential ring rust? Those are the two. I
think he'll be stronger than Aljo.
You think he's going to be stronger than Aljo?
I do. I think Aljo is going to have a problem Cejudo's wrestling. Like,
I was gonna say this. I think it's gonna be this is gonna be a primarily wrestling based fight. I think for sure.
No,
you don't think so?
It's gonna be a slugfest. Yeah,
It's gonna be a
because I
slugfest.
think both. I unless Henry can get the advantage and feels such, but Henry's not that type of fighter anymore. He's not a grappling first guy. He's proved.
Oh yeah, 100%. They're both hands first. They're both hands first. But to my point about dealing with Aljo's power, I think he's gonna want to get him on the ground because he does have that advantage on the ground.
I think even if he has the advantage, unless he feels extremely disadvantaged on the feet, which I don't think he will be.
No,
I don't think he's going to want to grab Aljo and just take him to the ground unless Aljo initiates it, or like I said, unless he feels, which I don't think he'll have that much of an advantage. I do think they are kind of even, but I do think there are things that Henry has in his background and his tools as far as wrestling that he will have the edge on Aljo with.
On Aljo, yeah, I agree.
And I think it'll be a striking affair. I think it'll be a very fun, striking fight. I see Cejudo figuring out how to close distance and how to probably knock out, if not TKO, Sterling. And I'm gonna go with Cejudo, probably TKO KO in the third round.
I'm going Cejudo unanimous decision.
Even submission, I could see him taking a submission on Aljo. You know,
I don't see Aljo tapping. He's gonna go.
Or he could go out. You know what I mean? Oh, I can see Aljo tapping. Are you kidding me? He faked his way to the belt. He'll tap. What do you mean? Took a knee to get the championship. He'll tap. Regardless, that's how I see it. It's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a fantastic fucking fight. Even if it goes to the ground, the wrestling versus wrestling will be awesome to see.
It will.
I think it'll be fucking slugfest. Yeah. I think they'll be on the feet.
I say it's gonna be more ground. We'll see. I'll bet you on that. We're gonna say you want to make a push a bet on ground versus feet since we both pick Cejudo, or no?
Okay. Sure. Yeah, we'll do 10. We'll do 10 on that.
10 on ground versus feet.
Mediocre bet. Yeah, we'll 10 on that. Okay. Co-main event, welterweight division.
This has even more implications.
More implications. Bilal Muhammad versus Gilbert Burns.
This is such a tough fight.
Such a tough fight. Bilal is gonna get, this is his shot. This is his shot. I know to him and the Bilal fans out there, however many of
I'm a Bilal fan. I'm a Bilal fan.
You're kind of a Bilal fan. I'm talking the real Bilal fans. Like, I know, you guys like, oh, our boy's been winning, he deserves it. Well, listen, this is the real one where let's see if he deserves it or not. He's going up against fucking Dorino, dude. And you know me. I'm a big fan.
This is going to be one of those slugfest fights.
This is not going to be an easy fight. It's not going to be an easy fight.
No.
I think Bilal is going to go in there and try to grab him. And I think Burns is going to, nope, you're not doing that.
No.
We're going to fight. We're going to fight for real.
Yeah.
Let's see how you are.
Yeah. I think
Burns a real big test for Bilal.
I think Burns has way more tools than Bilal. Bilal, for the most part, even though he's tough and gritted, he's fairly one-dimensional from that standpoint.
Bilal's not tough compared to
not compared to
Burns.
No, not to compare to Burns.
Burns is a savage, dude.
Yeah, I know.
He's a savage.
I know.
And fucking Bilal is not. He isn't. You know what I mean? He's a technical guy.
I've got Burns unanimous decision.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
I got Burns unanimous decision too.
Pretty easy.
I don't think it put him out, but I think Bilal's in for a long fucking night.
Yeah, no, there's no way. I think Burns has learned so much from his fight against Kamaru Usman, where he was fucking blitzing him and then it caught up to him in the second round. He's not doing that anymore. He's fighting way more calculated. Those rounds against fucking Kamshot were fucking tremendous for his career. That even though he lost, he didn't really lose. That was a great boost. And within 2 fights, now he's back within 1 from the title. So I think this is Burns' time. As much as I love Bilal, credit to Bilal for taking the fight, credit for him for sticking to his guns, having the balls to do it, but Burns.
Yeah, I agree. I think Burns definitely going to get it done. Okay, moving on. In the women's strawweight division, we got Jessica Andrade versus Xanan Yao. Dude, fucking great fight. Fucking great fight. Xanan Yao coming out of China. She is one to look for sure.
Yeah.
She's following that success of oh wow, just fucking forgot her name. Chinese champion. Fought Rose.
Weili Zhang.
Weili Zhang, thank you. You know, she's following some successful roads that Weili Zhang is plowing ahead. And yeah, she's going up against a huge test in Jessica Andrade. As normal, you know, Jessica Andrade, I feel like in this fight, her brawling mentality is going to be an advantage to her. I think we're going to definitely see if Yan starts to get advantage, I think, and hopefully Andrade will pick her up and grab her like she's been doing and not bite into the mouthpiece and start to go, because I do think she could lose an exchange technically there.
She did. She lost a bunch of exchanges in her last fight in the upset that she lost.
She did, yeah. So she needs to probably rely on the grappling here. But I'm gonna go Yan by KO. I think Yan will probably get it done. Either KO or decision. But yeah, I think I pick Yan by KO.
I've got Andrade split decision.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a really close fight, and I think Andrade. I think she needs this fight. She's going into that fight having that mentality that she needs this fight, and I think she's going to be smart. I don't think this is going to be a very fun fight to watch, but at the same time, for those who like understand what we're watching in terms of a technical aspect, I think it'll be great to see. But I think that Yan definitely has a little bit of. She's going to put up a lot of struggle against Andrade, and I think Andrade will barely hold on. And if she loses by a split decision, it wouldn't shock me either.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. It's not a bad prediction. Okay, moving on. This next fight's got a little bit of change to it. Today, it was supposed to be Bryce Mitchell versus Masavar Ilov, but Bryce Mitchell is out. He's being replaced last second, 6 days notice or 4 days notice by Diego Lopez.
No, I think it was the opposite, dude. I think it was supposed to. Was it? Oh, no. You're right. It was Diego Lopez. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, Diego Lopez is stepping in against Mozar Avalev. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know who he is. I don't know. I don't know if he's a new guy or if he's already in the UFC.
Yeah,
but I know this fight was going to be wrestling heavy. It was going to be grappling versus grappling.
Russia versus USA grappling.
Yeah, and although Bryce Mitchell not a very fair representation of USA wrestling, but yes, I think we'll see. If this Diego Lopez has any type of wrestling, he might be okay. But if he doesn't, he might get smished. So we'll see. This next fight, I'm really excited about. Gracie is actually going to be fighting. Gracie on the card for the first time, and he's actually opening the card. So I like.
Bro, I haven't seen Kron Gracie fight since I saw him live against fucking Cub Swanson. And Cub
I don't think any of us have. I don't think any of us have seen a Gracie alive in a minute. But yeah. Kron Gracie versus Charles Jourdain. I think it's a great fight. I do think Charles Jourdain has a good chance, but I think Gracie will probably get it done, and I think he'll probably get it done by submission. So we'll see. Though he has good hands as well. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Kron Gracie. Yep,
I'm going Jourdain.
Of course you would. Just to spite me.
I think Jourdain has better hands, and I think that'll be.
He does have better hands.
That'll be the better hands. How he keeps Gracie off of him, because Gracie's going to be going in trying to take him down, trying to jiu-jitsu his ass. So I just don't have faith in Gracie's hands. I just don't. I think the hands of Jourdain are going to be the key difference in this instance. So I'm going Jourdain.
Yeah, Jourdain. All right, cool. Well, that wraps up the main card for 288. There are stuff on prelims, but we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Another card that's coming up is ONE FC. So ONE FC has got their first show in the United States, and it is a massive show. It's a huge thing.
This is a make or break. This is make or break, I think, for ONE in the US.
Well, it's a massive Asian promotion coming over to do their debut in a Western market, and traditionally in the past it hasn't always gone so well.
It's sold out.
It's sold out. Oh, fuck yeah, it's sold out. It's sold out, and
this was the card that we were all supposed to go to, but due to circumstances, we're not. But starting off with the main card. Oh, let me say this too. This is the biggest difference is when Pride came over. Not the biggest difference. One of the big differences when Pride came over 2006 to do their final conflict thing over here. One of the biggest things that caught most fans off guard was the rule change set, because they were in the United States. They came over and they had to
They weren't allowed to do soccer kicks and all this stuff. So the rule changes were immediate, and it affected the fucking outcome and affected the production, affected everything tremendously. One is being basically sponsored by the Colorado Athletic Commission to be their own commission, and they are able to do the new rule set inside of Denver. So that's one of the reasons why they are going to Denver. So this is huge. This is massive, massive in terms of what it could be in the future. So that being said, well, let's start off with the main card. I'm losing my voice here.
Dude. I'm just looking at this again. This is my first time seeing the card in its entirety. This is
that's nice.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, no. It's a great.
So when is this? Friday?
Friday. First fight, 6 p.m. First fight is Demetrius Johnson versus Adrian Morales 3. Bro. For the flyweight MMA, for the flyweight championship.
This could be Mighty Mouse's final fight.
Dude, I don't even know. I don't know. Didn't the last time this happened, there was some kind of fucking fucking PED problem, right?
What, between
on Morales' side?
No, I think it was a weight cut, that he had a hard weight cut. I think it might have been a hard weight cut.
I think there was a fucking PED issue.
No, I don't think so.
Well, anyway, they're gonna fight for the third time. I gotta pick Mighty Mouse. I got Mighty Mouse by KO or fucking KO viciously too. I
got Mighty Mouse unanimous.
I hope he gets it done.
I got Mighty Mouse unanimous decision. I don't think he's going to lose this U.S. debut. It's imperative, I believe, that he wins. Truth be told, I really believe it's imperative that he wins. I think, he found a lot of answers that he didn't find in the first fight and the second fight. And it's key to, how that will continue to evolve, I suppose, in that instance. So
hell yeah, I hope he wins and gives a big old fucking finger to the Dana White in the UFC.
100%. 150%. Even though I'm wearing a UFC headband.
Yeah, well, still,
it was $15, guys. Sorry, I won.
Yeah. Co-main event. We got Rodtang versus Rotang. I mean, dude, he's the flyweight Muay Thai champion. I'm not pricking against him. I got Rodtang by fucking vicious KO.
Me neither. Yes, sir. KO. I'm going body kick KO.
Yeah. That's a good that's not a bad prediction at all. Okay, next fight in the flyweight division, we got Mikey Musimi versus Osmari Amarawai. Now I don't know a lot about Amarawai, but I know a lot about Mikey Musimi. He's a BJJ champ.
You're fucking up his name.
Mishimeshi, sorry. He's well, I mean, to be fair, you want to go back a couple fucking fights, a couple names ago. But yes, Meshishimi, he is fantastic, young kid, great fucking jiu-jitsu, getting better at striking. If this is any bit of grappling, I've got it all day for Mikey, pizza guy.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Almarwai, but I'll go Musumeci.
Yeah, Musumeci. Okay, this next fight's gonna be fucking bonkers. Fair tax, dude. Fair tax. Any fight she's in is absolutely insane. Versus Elise Anderson. This is in the atom weight. It's a I'm assuming
atom weight's 105.
Oh, it is MMA. Oh wow. Yeah. Okay, I thought this was kickboxing.
It's not kickboxing. This is This is 105 MMA.
Oh, so Fairtex might get thrown to the ground and fucking murdered by fucking Anderson.
Maybe.
Okay.
That's not a bad prediction, sir.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna go Anderson if that's the case. I'm gonna change my last minute here, but I am gonna go Anderson. No, you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna go Fairtex by KO. I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm gonna Fairtex by KO for sure.
Me too.
Or unanimous decision. But I think she gets it done with the striking. Unless Anderson has wrestling, then she might be pretty fucked.
I would die laughing if Fairtex wins via submission.
Bro, that'd be so funny. Okay, moving on. The welterweight division. Roberto Soldic versus Sebastian
Soldic.
Soldic. I don't know how to say that last
name.
That's
how it is. It's Soldic. but no, it's Soldic. 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 Yes.
Soldic. Versus Sebastian Kadistam. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know who's gonna win this fight, guys. I'll be honest with you. I don't know
Soldic.
either one of them.
You don't know
I'm gonna go
Soldic?
with Soldic because of that last
You don't
name.
know? No,
So.
you don't know Soldic? Soldic was a big fucking their big free agent pickup in from the Russian promotion K1, I believe.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of when you
No,
said that, it
he was
kind
a
of rung a
big kicker
bell,
from
but
there.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd be
he was the
lying if I
guy.
said anything
He was
else.
the guy in one of the last ones that we watched together live. That he had that it was like a no contest because of
I remember that
headbutt, I believe it was, or
Yeah.
something along those lines. Yeah. So he needs this. I'm going Soldic.
Cool. All right. Moving on. The next fight. Everybody kind of knows this guy, Sage Northcutt, in lightweight.
Look who's back.
Look who's back versus
Not against Cosmo,
Alexander, who just fought, by the way.
Did he?
Yeah. I don't know. He fought. He fought Judah.
It was a kickboxing, right?
Boxing. It was Judah. What's his face? Famous boxer. Anyway, they fought.
Zab Judah.
Zab Judah. Thanks.
Really?
Yeah, Zab Judah. Yeah. They just fought.
Oh, shit.
Or they're gonna fight. I just saw their name on a marquee somewhere. But anyway,
wow.
Yeah. Going back to the fight, Sage Northcutt versus Ahmad Medjugorje. Look, this is a big fight for Northcutt, given he was like almost murdered in his last fight versus,
It's
been like 3 years.
3 years, right?
Yeah, it's been like 3 years. All big goes good for Northcutt, but I'm picking Ahmad, dude. I think he's probably gonna get it done, wrestling wise or striking wise. Mr. Northcutt here. I hope he has a good showing, but man, yeah, I can't see him.
I'm picking
Northcutt doing a lot better.
I'm picking Northcutt in a close decision.
All right, that'd be surprising. Okay, let's do one more. There's
you gotta if you're gonna are you gonna do the one that's below that? Because I mean the one that I think we should highlight if we're gonna do one more is Rainer de Ritter. An excellent submission grappler against Ty Rutolo, who is another great grappler himself. That's going to be a really, really, really fun. I honestly think that'll be a more fun submission grappling match than Musumeci. All things considered, I truly believe that. I truly believe that it'll be
a fun one. Yeah, a lot of people just are not in the submission grappling yet. You know,
I don't know enough about it, but I do know enough about Rainer de Ritter. That he's a fucking motherfucker, and Ty Rutolo is not fucking somebody to sneeze at either. I'm going Rutolo. It's upset.
Yeah, I would pick de Ritter to win submission. Yeah, I'd pick de Ritter to miss submission. Another fight too. The last fight I'd say is Ong Sang, who is a huge fucking star in Thailand, in Asia. Man, he's from Myanmar, but he's a pretty big name over there. Him versus Pham Rong out of China. That ought to be a pretty good MMA fight. I'm gonna just go Ong Sang. I don't know a lot about Wrong. But he also does kickboxing, Muay Thai. He's a hell of a tough guy.
I've heard of him more from kickboxing.
Yeah, so that'll be he's a big 1FC guy. So if you follow 1FC, you know who he is. But anyway, that's the one card. Pretty big card.
Fucking card.
Fantastic card. Looking forward to that. Check that out, guys.
I will do my we have to watch the whole thing. 100%.
Yeah. No,
I'm trying to think of what I have to do Friday. I don't think I have anything to do Friday.
There's a lot going on this weekend. So
I'm trying my best to catch up on anime so I could record on Thursday with Matt, so that way I can have my Friday off because I enjoy having Friday off. I was gonna probably play Destiny until I realized that one is on Friday, so I will be sitting my fucking ass in the chair with some drinks, watching motherfucking 1FC in goddamn Denver, Colorado.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, that wraps up. Oh, excuse me. That wraps up BKFC. That wraps up the fight night. Give you predictions for 1. Give you prediction for 288. One more.
Now we're gonna give you news before we get the fuck out.
We'll give you one more thing we'll talk about before we get out of here. And I mean, I think I want to say this update from we talked about Nate Diaz last weekend with the whole thing with the Logan Paul fucking lookalike. Turns out that guy's a fighter. Turns out that guy was like an actual fighter, and Nate Diaz is claiming he was harassing him the whole night before. So they got a court date. They're gonna go forward. Sounds like Nate Diaz is gonna claim self-defense. I don't think Diaz is gonna pay a dime, and this Logan Paul lookalike guy is gonna just get a little bit of famous off this. So good for him.
I think they're gonna sell him.
Yeah. We'll see.
I
They'll
know,
probably
Poppy, I'm almost done. I'm gonna give you
We'll
food.
see.
I'm done.
I know. Huh? Yeah. So, but the big news from this week and this weekend, other than BKFC being
With
successful
one
in Ghana,
FC.
is Francis. Got to talk about Francis. Francis Ngannou has struck out
Again.
with every major MMA promotional organization in the world.
He's
So
priced himself out, dude. He's priced himself
I
out.
don't know what the fuck's going on over there. Very much like when he was in the UFC, whoever is helping him run his career
Bad.
needs to be shot or needs to be sent back to wherever you came from.
Is he friends with Diego Sanchez and Josh?
This is crazy. Yeah, like is Fabio running around in the background somewhere?
Right.
What the fuck's going on, dude? When Chatri comes out and says, "I'll pass," dude, something's
He's
going
like, I met with
Something's
him.
going
He
on.
literally said, I met with him. We're not aligned financially. Therefore, we're not going to
No.
submit our final
No,
offer to him.
That's not what he said. He said it wasn't financially. He said they weren't aligned. Actually, what he said was way worse. He said they weren't aligned goal-wise. They weren't aligned like future-wise, like working together-wise.
You know what? And you know what that says?
That speaks volumes.
That says Francis is only there for a couple paydays. He wants something simple.
No, that says Francis is a nightmare. And
yeah, no,
you know,
Shatri's doing his best because Shatri's doing his best to grow the promotion beyond Asian borders. It's not, you know,
and also if you break down his comments, he's doing his best to not shit on Ngannou.
Yeah,
but he is in the most professional way.
Yeah.
Look, BKFC president came out and said the same thing. Scott Coker kind of came out and said a similar thing. It sounds like this guy is too big for his own bridges.
Yeah.
And clearly fucking Tyson Fury moved on too. I mean,
yeah, he's going to face Andy Ruiz.
He fucked that up, dude.
Deontay Wilder
fucked that up.
I don't think it's going to matter much, but Deontay Wilder just got arrested today. Did you see that?
What? No.
You didn't see that?
For what?
Illegal carry in California.
What state?
California.
Oh no.
He was driving. They pulled him over in Los Angeles because his Rolls Royce had illegal tints and his driver's license was partially obscured. They smelled weed in the car, so they checked the car. They found weed and a 9 mil.
They smelled weed in the car?
They smelled weed in the car, so they did a search of the car. They found a 9 mil.
Send me that article. You can't smell weed in California and subject to search. He must have admitted something. It's weird.
Probably. They said that he was cooperative throughout the entire thing, but they arrested him for illegal possession. Posted bond, $35,000. Court date TBD. But that's not going to really matter in the grand scheme of things. He'll pay a fine.
Yeah, but the weapons charge is a problem.
Yeah, it is a felony.
That's a fucking, yeah. In California, that's a problem.
Yeah. And so he wrote on Twitter. I read the article from Dan Raphael. He wrote on Twitter. He's like, I'd rather be safe than sorry. The end. He don't give a fuck. He's just like, eh.
Yeah, I guess like you said, I'll probably just pay restitution on it. But yeah,
that's so that came up. So that's gonna take him out for a little bit. You'd think. Joshua's got his next couple fights lined up. He actually was, like you mentioned, the rumor was that he was gonna fight.
By fighting in Canada. You know what I mean? Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, Wilder was never gonna fucking go to Canada. The fuck?
That's a good point.
Wow, that was the most worthless point you've made in a while, Andy.
Yeah, true. That's the most worthless thing. I was just one of those comments. I thought I was like, I can't fight in Canada, I guess.
Oh, because he told you what him versus George St. Pierre. That's gonna sell,
bro.
Okay,
it actually would sell.
It would, but still, that's not gonna happen.
Who would win that fight in a boxing ring? Deontay, right? Like all day.
Deontay Wilder versus George St. Pierre.
In a boxing ring, George comes out of that fight fucking like going to the aliens, right? Like he gets on the mothership, he gets hit so hard.
Come on, Matt Hughes, let's go see the alien together.
Oh, oh no! Oh no! Oh no! What if, like, dude, like him and Matt Hughes just like head on that train? Fucking, that's their portal, bro. That's their portal.
Get off the UFO, Junior.
Hey, Matt Hughes, come with me. No, don't worry. The train is okay. You know, fucking just all right. So yes,
it's a joke to end on, but we'll keep on going.
It will keep on going. We'll ride this thing right into a fucking we'll ride this thing right into a chemical disaster zone. Okay. Hey. So yeah, I don't know where Francis is gonna go though. Going back to the story,
Honestly,
it's
honestly,
crazy.
it would be a bad look, but Dana should be reaching out with a lesser offer. But
Are you kidding me?
I'm
Are
not.
you kidding me,
I'm
dude?
not. I think
He's not going back to the UFC. I saw someone say that. Like, there's no Dana. If Dana is removed or executed, he's coming back. But dude, short of execution, that guy is not fighting in the UFC. No way.
I think
No
if John
way.
Jones really pushes hard enough and Francis is that desperate enough, especially if his boxing, like
He's not.
his boxing things,
He's not that desperate.
you
Clearly.
realize, I saw the I think it's been 481 days, I believe, something along those lines since Francis last fought.
It's over. I hate to say that. I mean, and being like, but just calling it what it is.
He's supernova.
It's over.
He's supernova, bro.
Yeah. His best chance is PFL and that's so sad. That's so sad that a few podcasts ago we were like, well, not few, but many podcasts ago we were like, this is the biggest fucking like, like let go in UFC history, and it was.
Yeah.
But now it isn't.
No, honestly, now Dana White,
how things just are and how things work.
Dana White
literally at the bottom of the storyline now.
Dana White has been vindicated. Dana White has been vindicated with his negotiations.
In this regard, he has. I agree. That's why I said he was right. Chatri White came out. I mean, he was all like, "Yo, Chatri's changing." I want to say that Chatri's changed a little bit. He's coming over to America a little bit. He's
those investors, bro. They changed him.
He came out, boy. When he came out, and said, "Yeah, we'll do co-promotions only with the big boys." I was like, somebody's
you know why he got
somebody's got investors.
He's got investors, bro. No, but and you know who we should thank for that? Ryzen and Bellator. Thank them.
Thank you, Ryzen. Thank you, Bellator. We appreciate it.
Fuck PFL.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to call Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Flat Earth Mitchell.
Yeah, you did.
Got it in. All right, guys.
I was really hoping to see Bryce Mitchell get fucking smushed.
Yeah, dude. Smushed like the earth that's flat?
Yeah.
All right. Pancaked out. So that wraps up the show, dude. Like I said, guys, this is a huge weekend coming up. 288-1. No BKFC. I know there's some boxing going on too. So
yeah, it's Canelo's fight. Canelo's facing John Ryder.
There you go. Big fight.
Not probably gonna. Well, actually, no. I'm gonna be out. No. So my plan. I'm going to go see wrestling. So I'm not gonna. I'll have to catch up on probably the first couple fights because I'm gonna go watch wrestling from 6 to 10 at Universal, and then my plan is to jet from there and find a bar somewhere because I don't think Universal is gonna be showing the fight. So I'm gonna have to jet somewhere, and try and watch the fight. I might jet. I gotta call my boy because see if his Fire Stick is up. May go there. If not, I'll probably just head down iDrive in Orlando and see if I can find somewhere. The only place that really shows the fight on, well, no, maybe I can go to. So I either have Twin Peaks, which I would love to go, but they're always swamped, especially on fight nights. And then I have Dave and Buster's because I think Dave and Buster's shows the fights now. So I may head to Dave and Buster's.
There you go. Woo! I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
Yes, sir.
That's it, man. Get us on Twitter, get us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all the @. MMA for Marks, bam, right there. And anywhere you get your podcast, just MMA for Marks podcast. Give us a Goog. You'll find us there. My good sir, take us on out.
Yes, sir. You can follow, like Andy said, on his channel, MMA for Marks. You can follow me on Showstopper24. Bam, did that right the first time, bitch. Let's go. You can follow at least on our social, my social. We have link trees where you can catch my other endeavors. Shout out to my boy Matt with the Talk to Kick podcast. We will hopefully be recording on Thursday night, so we can get that wrapped up on the latest and greatest in anime. Thank you W2M Network for hosting us. Thank you Sean for editing for us. Much appreciated. Again, if you Google W2M Network on YouTube and Twitch, you can catch the live stream replay as well as our other podcasts that we host on the channel. So look out for that, and follow us on the MMA for Marks on Facebook. That is our primary contact. Let us know if you heard us on the channel. We'll definitely shout you out. Andy and I are admins there, and we constantly talk on there, as well as many other members of our little MMA little world that we are inundated with. So believe that's it.
That's it. All right, guys. wrapped up another one.
Another one. And hey,
Another
guys,
one.
I don't know if you, I'll say this on the air, Andy. I don't know. I hope the fans are seeing, but like lately, like not to toot our own horn, toot bitch, but we're on fire, bro. We're on fucking fire. I hope the energy that we're putting out there to kind of stoke this fire is getting out there to you guys too. Hopefully, we that's all our goal, bro. Just, we want to get you guys to love MMA the way we love MMA. Maybe not as much as me because I love MMA a little bit less than Andy does because Andy's a diehard. But regardless, we're trying to get you there, guys. Keep that in mind.
Trying to get you on our level. Tune in next week for more levelness.
Can't wait to review 288 and 1, bitches.
Yeah, that's gonna be a huge card. That 288. That like we can't overstate that enough. The Henry Cejudo versus Triple C. I can't wait to see that. That's gonna be
Henry Cejudo versus himself, huh? Good job, Andy.
Fucking end this show before I end myself.
Until next time, cocksuckers. See ya.
Peace out.
If there's one thing I know for sure, it's that I know nothing.